Hello everyone, welcome to What If Deku Was the Reincarnation of Cumber Part 1. Before we start, please go support ancalagonintheblack for writing that awesome fanfic. Now let's begin. This is the translated version I made. There will be some wrong he or she calling here because it's translated, so let me clear this. Deku is a male in this story. App 1. Class 1A, a class which went through many which caused problems throughout its life against a league of villains, but one day they received a tape along with photos which they began to see, seeing how Izuku, who was not there at that time with all of them, the boy was giving the league of villains information. A while passed when Izuku arrived. Izuku? Hello, is something wrong? And that he was hit by All Might. All Might? Damn traitor bastard. Izuku? Traitor? What's wrong? Lita? Don't do it. They said it while showing photos and tapes of Izuku with a league of villains, leaving the green-haired boy shocked. Izuku? That's not me. Haminari? Stop lying. He said it, giving him a shock. Izumi? Damn, I can't believe you're my brother. I can't wait for mom to find out about this. You were my idol. He said this while throwing a fireball at him. Izuku? But understand that I'm not that one. All Might? Shut up and give me the one for all. Izuku only did what was asked, but as soon as he gave him one for all, he received the blows of his life, taking a lot of damage, but he noticed that some did not attack him until his torture ended by some people who stood in front of him protecting him. All Might? Aizawa, young Momo, young Bakugo, young Tomi, what are you doing? Fem Todoroki. Aizawa. The boy has had enough, just take him to the Totters, and that's it. Uraraka. But that bastard who was once my boyfriend deserves. Bakugo. He got what he deserved, now he'll leave. He said it while some guards were taking him away from the UA to a very wounded Izuku, thinking about how he didn't do any of that, but before he left he said a few words. Izuku? Just so you know, you're making a mistake. I'm not a traitor, but you are. That left them all wondering what the boy meant by saying they were traitors, but they stopped caring as everyone began to hear the news that Izuku betrayed the UA. Well, in one place everyone laughed at this. App 2. After it was said about the UA traitor Izuku, former Midoriya, the boy was being taken to Totters. Well, he thought about everything that happened to him in his life, how he entered the UA, how he had his friends, how he had his girlfriend Uraraka, how he faced the League of Villains, until almost all but a few betrayed him. Izuku? Damn traitors, how I want the power to get revenge. You want power, I'll give it to you. Izuku? Who are you? I am Cumber, the evil Saiyan. Izuku? Well, what do you want with me? Cumber? I saw your betrayal, I saw how you were tortured, and all for which I offer you power, since you are my reincarnation. Izuku? What do you want in exchange? Cumber? Nothing, just that you will have your own power apart from having my memories. Izuku? I accept both. At that point, Cumber disappears and all of Izuku's memories came back to him as he woke up while he was put in a cell with some villains who were obviously about to go against him, but a guard said that Izuku had visitors, so he left the cell to be taken to some people. Izuku? Tell me, you're going to hit me, what? Aizawa. We came to tell you that we believe that you are not the traitor, apart from me your mother also believes that. Izuku? Yavio. Aizawa. My dear child, I want you to know that you will be free. I'm going to see who the damn thing was who. Izuku? They were the League of Villains for sure, they found out that I was All Might's successor, so they did this. Aizawa. I'll investigate everything I can. Izuku? Thank you Aizawa-sensei, I want you to know that I will get stronger from now on. Aizawa. Como? Izuku? I awakened my true power now, I just have to get used to this. Aizawa. Izumi is the new bearer of One for All. Izuku? It doesn't matter that, my power when I get used to it will be stronger than the entire class 1 combined, believe me. Aizawa. You know very well that I will always believe you. After that they left so that Izuku ended up in a cell from the same one as before, being nervous, but when one of the prisoners tried to do something to him while the blow was a few centimeters from Izuku, his nervous face changed to one of anger to dodge the blow and hit the villain, sending him to crash, leaving him unconscious, making everyone nervous. Izuku? Get ready because I will train with your bodies. He said it while the guards ran to his cell upon hearing screams of pain. App 3. After Izuku met Cumber, apart from Aizawa giving Izuku a visit so that when he returned to his cell, he started fighting all the villains, making the guards go to Izuku's cell very often apart from watching him while in the cell. Midoriya's house, Izumi's mother fought a lot with her since she did not believe that her son was really a villain while something was happening at UA. All Might. Nezu, what's wrong? Nezu? We received recordings from the League of Villains. Everyone wondered why, but when they started playing the recording they saw a cardboard sign, the death of the hero. They saw how they began to make the recordings with Toga, who pretended to be Izuku with some of his blood and all the photos and performances. Midnight. Izuku was telling the truth. All Might. But we can't do anything, he spent a long time in totters. Izawa. It's not like that, I visited Izuku many times, and he is still that hero that we all know or almost. Nezu. Well, let's go find it. Izawa. Izuku's mother and I will go look for you, but not you. All Might. Why? Izawa. I think he has some hatred for them, so it wouldn't be a good idea. He said it to take some papers to go to Totters, although Izawa went for Izuku's mother, apart from the fact that the news was told to Class 2A. Hiroshima. What do you think will happen? Zero. I don't know. Bakugo. Stupid extras. Izumi. My brother will come out of Totters. Momo. And now he's her brother. In Totters they presented the papers to take him out, although the guards were nervous about this, but they went to release him when they saw how the guards came, as they had a giant iron box which had 3 holes, one on each side of the box, being one in front and on the sides. Izawa. Izuku is seriously free. Inko. You are very happy, son. He said this while looking at the huge metal box that they were going to take out of the place until they went to the UA. Izawa. We'll all be going to USJ, little sprouts. Everyone got ready, but when they entered the bus they noticed that at the back there was a kind of connection with the vehicle, which was a metal box to everyone's surprise. Lita. Izawa-sensei, what is that? Izawa. That's just where Izuku is. Everyone trembled at this, although others felt better when they heard about the green-haired boy, so Magetta grabbed his balls to see through the hole that gave him a view of Izuku, only seeing everything dark, but some small lights illuminated inside, giving the floor where he could see some white boots. Izawa. Little sprouts, a piece of advice, Izuku doesn't like being looked at in the eyes. She said this while Magetta noticed 2 red eyes that were seen in the darkness, causing her to get scared and fall to the floor. Haminari. What's wrong, Magetta? Magetta. That's not Izuku. He said this while looking fearfully at the box, leaving everyone wondering what the boy was looking at in the box, until they arrived at the USJ where everyone got off. Momo. Izawa-sensei and Izuku. Izawa. He's coming, he's just getting ready. He said it and everyone entered the place. Hap 4. After receiving the information that Izuku was innocent apart from having freed him, everyone had arrived at the USJ where they entered, seeing the whole place with improvements, although the lights failed, while Izawa watched with his offspring, that Kurogiri appeared with some nomas from the portal which already wanted to fight. Magetta. It's like the first time we fought the villains. Bakugo. But now we are ready. Tamura. Hello Class 2A. Izawa. Normally I wouldn't let my offspring fight against you, but I let my older offspring fight. He said it, but they saw how Lita advanced. Izawa. What are you doing, Lita? Lita. Am I not his most mature offspring? Izawa. No, why do you think that? Lita. It's just that I'm the most mature of everyone apart from being the president of the class. Izawa. Hello everyone. He said it while they heard some footsteps behind him, looking at a black-haired man with long hair all pulled back, except for one strand which had a straitjacket apart from having a monkey tail. Mina. Izuku. Kurogiri. Izawa, how do you want him to fight if he doesn't have a quirk? Apart from that, straitjacket works to prevent him from using a quirk or making a movement, apart from being so tough that even Muscular with all his strength couldn't break him until it said that not even All Might can break it. That made everyone worry about Izuku, who had already gone down looking at the nomas. Izawa. Izuku, you can free yourself now. Izuku, who had his eyes closed, opened them, showing his red eyes. Everyone looked impressed as he broke free with great ease, and the girls blushed at Izuku's physique, while he had a dark red aura. Izuku. T-Destroyer. He said this while looking at Tamura, who sent a Nomu which went to hit Izuku, but they saw how with one hand, he took the fist of the Nomu, which was gigantic and whose fist was shaking, meaning that he was trying to use all his strength, but Izuku didn't move. Izuku. You are very weak. He said it while giving him a blow that sent him flying, so that he began to increase his power to begin launching Kai spheres against the nomas, hitting them squarely, causing them to be sent flying with notable damage, serious wounds, so that Izuku was to start. They hit the nomas, causing them to fly even further, but the giant Nomu from a while ago tried to go against Izuku, but he made a giant sphere of Kai with one hand, throwing it against him, causing him to end up on the floor totally out of combat. Tamura. How is that possible? The Nomu tried to attack Momo, but the black-haired man appeared in front of him, taking the blow, stopping the attack completely. Izuku. Damn, you tried to attack her. He said this while giving him a punch that sent him far away. Izuku. No one will touch her. He said this to go against the Nomas again, causing a massacre with this, as they ended up lying on the floor before Izuku's enormous power. Izuku. You only lack voice. He said this while looking at Tamura, who left through a portal. Izuku. You'll run away for now. He said it as he started walking to Class 2A. Izawa. My most mature offspring, as you show, you keep your promises that you would be stronger. Bakugo. Hey Deku, what's that quirk? Izuku. It's a Saiyan. In that, when everyone left to go back to the dorms and go to the UA, they saw how the metal box had a huge hole, making them shed a drop of sweat. Hap 5. After Izuku defeated all the Nomas, he and everyone returned to UA where they all just went to their dormitories to be calmer, although they kept looking at Izuku, who only had a serious face with some anger, making them think if he has some anger towards them. Izawa. Izuku, change parts of your room so you feel like that since I imagine you don't want to see All Might stuff. Izuku. Just as you always know, Aizawa-sensei. He said this as he was about to enter his room. Invention. Izuku Hermano. Izuku. Now I am your brother, I want you to understand only one thing, and that is that our mother is the only thing that unites us. Mina. Hey Izuku, because you have something in your mouth. Izuku. You'd be surprised how many prisoners and guards I broke their bones with just my mouth. After that he entered, making everyone go to their room, although they knocked on Izuku's door, so he opened it, seeing the only people who did not betray him. Bakugo. Hey Deku, are you going to let us in? Izuku. Only if you don't blow anything up. That's what they got into. Izuku. It's good to see you again. Momo. Same here. Izuku. How did they know I wasn't the traitor? Tomi. It's obvious after all the things you did. Momo. Hey Izuku, what's this? He said it, taking his tail, but they saw how it made him shiver so that he fell to the floor. Izuku. Please let go of my tail. Momo. I'm sorry. He said it by releasing the tail and watching it rise. Tomi. It's like his weak point. Izuku. Apart from being strong, because this lets me undergo a transformation. Momo. In that case it would be better for you to listen to us from now on. Izuku. And why would I do it? I notice how he brings his hand closer to his tail, making him move away while hugging his tail. Izuku. Fine, just don't touch my tail. The girls laughed at this, so they started telling him about all the things that happened since he left UA. Izuku. Well, it's getting late, everyone better leave because I have to do a couple of things. When everyone left, Izuku just looked out a window while thinking about what Cumber said to him in a few words. Cumber. You won't be the only Saiyan. Izuku. What did he mean by that? After that he went to sleep. Hap 6. After Izuku arrived at UA he only prepared his things to go to rest. The next day he woke up to go to class, although he got the glances of the girls who looked at his muscular body as he walked until he arrived at class 2A, where he sighed to enter the place and sit next to Bakugo. Izawa. Izuku, you can come with me. Izuku. Okay sensei. That's when they went outside. Izawa. I want you to do something. That's when they talked about getting Izawa into the class. Izawa. Everyone put on your hero suits and go outside. Everyone paid attention to be outside as they looked at Izuku with Cumber's clothes in the place in front of everyone. Izawa. Everyone will have to face Izuku. Mineta. But Professor. Izawa. Do it. At that point Bakugo and Tomi went to attack, throwing ice and some explosions that Izuku didn't even try to dodge, so that they would hit him full on, so that everyone could see how the boy was unharmed. Bakugo. That's new. Haminari would try to do something with his electricity, but it had no effect on Izuku, who did nothing, but Sato began to eat sugar while he went to Izuku, starting to hit him, which Izuku blocked effortlessly to push Sato away with a blow. He dodged the dark shadow to send a sphere of Kai to the floor, making an explosion that everyone had to separate, but they didn't consider that Izuku would disappear from their sight. Hiroshima. Where? In that he was silenced by a blow from Izuku that knocked him unconscious, but when he saw that they tried to attack Shoji with a blow, he only kicked him that left him lying on the floor, but he had to dodge more of Kaminari's rays to hit him in the stomach. Izuku. They don't have enough strength to fight. He said it while giving him a blow that sent him flying, colliding with Mineta, Jiru, Toru and Uraraka, leaving him out of combat, so he dodged an explosion from Bakugo. Bakugo. It's good to see you again. Izuku. Same here. And that his feet are frozen by Tomi, but he breaks them easily to see them. Izuku. They still lack power. He said it while an attack on Bakugo left him out of combat, followed by going against Tomi to hit him in the neck, leaving her also out of combat, but he blocked a kick from Lita to take him, only to lift him up and throw him to the ground. Floor, causing it to crash against the floor, leaving it out of combat. Izuku. This is no longer boring, it's sad. He said it while going against the rest of the class, leaving them unconscious in the blink of an eye. Izuku. Very easy. Izawa. Well Izuku, now we will have to see about. That's when they notice Class B. Hap 7. After the fight against Class A being defeated by Izuku, they were only wondering what they were going to do, but they saw Class B approaching them, so they only watched as they approached, although they already imagined why they were coming. But they didn't say anything. Hendo. Hello Izuku, we wanted to know if you accept a fight against us. Izuku. Okay. That's when they take out Class A to prepare against Class B. Izawa. But before fighting seriously, do you think you can beat him? Monoma. What a question that is. Hendo. Shut up, why do you say that Izawa? Izawa. Well we know that Class 1 can defeat them without Izuku. Hendo. Yes. Izawa. It's just that if Izuku defeated all of you, don't you think the same thing could happen, but with you? Hendo. Well, that's true, but let's go to class. Monoma. No, I'm going to defeat him. He said it while he was going against Izuku, but when he tried to use his quirk nothing happened and he received a blow that left him unconscious on the floor. Izuku. I already imagined this. That's when he walks past Class B to change, leaving them surprised that Monoma couldn't copy his quirk. After a while Izuku was training with a large amount of weight. Izawa. Don't you want to put a little more weight on it? Izuku. No matter what I do, this is nothing to me. He said it to release the machine. Izawa. I'll see if I can get you a better machine that will make you work harder. Izuku. I'll try something new. He said it while going outside, drawing Izawa's attention, since he had his eyes closed concentrating energy on his hand which he raised to the sky. Izawa. And what? Izuku. You better get out of the way. Izawa watched as Izuku began to grow in size until he was an enormous size, which turned out to be a giant monkey with orange fur. Izawa. And that? Izuku. I thought I would lose control. Izawa. How would you lose control? At that Izuku began to draw energy while he became smaller to the point of being smaller than normal, except that his eyes turned red with some emerald blue. Izuku. If I lost control I was going to end up destroying everything in my path. Izawa. And what did you do? Izuku. I managed to control my Azaru form to leave my original form. Izawa. And now? Izuku. I will have to control my power better. He said it while he sat down to meditate and his dark aura was present as he floated. Tap 8. After Izuku finished mastering his Azaru form, he was only meditating to learn to control his energy better, but he began to hear some footsteps which made him finish meditating, so he saw that it was only Bakugo, Tomi and Momo, so that only approached them. Izuku. Is something wrong? Bakugo. No, we just wanted to know if you wanted to go to the city to spend some time together. Momo. Besides, no one knows about that new appearance. Izuku. Okay. With that, they went to get ready, but Izuku was the last to finish, so he was waiting for the others, but the rest of the class approached him. Izuku. What do you want? Uraraka. We just wanted you to forgive us. Izuku. They come to ask me for it just like that after everything they did to me. Uraraka. Bueno, Izuku. Seriously, they are delusional to think something like that. Hiroshima. And how can we make you treat us differently? Izuku. Look, I treat you differently than the others because they didn't do the same thing to me as you didn't think I was a traitor, and that's why I treat you differently. At that point the three of them arrived to leave while the rest of the class thought about something. Mina. I already have an idea to treat us the same. Jiru. Which one? Mina. Just follow me. While the other four were walking calmly down the street although Izuku got the looks of the girls. Izuku. And now what? Momo. Let's start by buying you some clothes. They went to a store where they began to buy clothes since Izawa gave Izuku money so he only tried on clothes, although at times the girls watched when Izuku changed his shirt. Bakugo. Do you already have feelings for Izuku? Momo. Something like that. Tomi. Since he helped me with my problem I started to have feelings for him. Momo. And me from the festival. At that Izuku came out showing a muscular figure. Izuku. List. Bakugo. It looks good on you. So they bought some clothes, but when they finished buying clothes they went to get something to eat. Bakugo. Everyone pays for their own food. Momo. I have no problem. They waited until they gave the plates to Momo, Tomi and Bakugo, but they didn't see what they gave to Izuku. Tomi. Izuku and your food. Izuku. Yavin. He said it while they were coming with a banquet, so he began to eat at a great speed to everyone's surprise, so that a while passed, so that everyone could see how Izuku finished all the plates of food. Bakugo. I know you were hungry but that much. Izuku. Since I had my power I had this big appetite along with a faster metabolism than yours. At that, everyone went to the UA, arriving at the place, entering seeing that everything was calm, luckily for Izuku, who only went to his room to rest, while the entire class too had a smile, while the three thought about what was happening. Dude was going to end very badly for everyone. Chap 9. After Izuku went to the city with his friends, days passed in which Izuku was calm with his companions, since they did not dare to disturb what was good for the boy to spend time with his friends quietly, but one day they did not know that all that peace was going to come to an end. Izuku. Come on, train a little harder. He said it while they were trying to take some of the effort out of Izuku, since they tried to throw ice at him, along with explosions, and Momo was with a metal bar which Izuku with a single movement avoided all the attacks. Izuku. We're done for today. And that they went to take a bath, although Izuku did not go to bathe but stayed in the living room, but it was a terrible idea. Uraraka. Hola Deku-kun. Izuku. What do you want? He said it while bringing out some of his aura, making them scared. Lita. Wait, we just want to talk and show you something. Izuku. I'll give you a few minutes. Jiru. Well, you said you would treat us all the same in exchange for showing you something. He said this while showing a tape. Izuku. And what? Hiroshima. It's one of the UA cameras, it was difficult for us to get it, but in the end we got it. Izuku. Aver. He said this while playing the recording, which was of the class with Bakugo, Momo and Tomi, who were in front of him a little after he betrayed him. Jiru. Tell us why you protected Izuku, do you think he's not the traitor? Momo. That's not it, just think if we didn't treat him like a traitor from the beginning. Tomi. And he turns out not to be a traitor when he returns to UA, they will be able to earn his forgiveness through us. Bakugo. Think a little aside, you don't remember how I treated Deku from the beginning. Shoji. And Aizawa did the same. Tomi. No, he is totally sure that he is not a traitor. Izumi. Well, in that case, if it turns out that my ex-brother is not a traitor, this will be good. That's where the recording ends while Izuku had his face down while listening to his friends who saw the recording. Momo. Izuku, you have to listen to us. Izuku. I will do it, I am not like them, but I just want some explanations, and that they are true, because they are. Did you really say that? And did you think I was a traitor with that plan? Bakugo. Yes, we said all that. Tomi. And we did make that plan. Izuku just stood up. Momo. But now we see that you are not the traitor. Izuku. That was enough. They saw how they put his suit from before on that Deku suit. Uraraka. Yes, now we can be friends apart from you and I being boyfriends, Deku. Izuku. No soy Deku. He said it while bringing out his aura apart from making everyone move away from him, and his Deku suit broke. Izuku. Deku died a long time ago, I am the evil Saiyan. He said this as he began to walk to his room, where he entered to close the door. Bakugo. Now we lost Izuku. Momo and Tomi went to Izuku's door, but the door was closed. Momo. Izuku is us. Tomi. Let us pass. Bakugo. He won't open the door, he wants to be alone. He said this so that everyone could go to their room thinking about how to get Izuku back. Chap 10. After Izuku saw the recording, he took a greater hatred towards the entire class, so he was calm in his room until he left only to go to class, entering the classroom, but instead of going where one of them was, he only sat away from all of them, while having a serious face with anger. Aizawa. Well, everyone, today we're just going to train. He said this so that everyone would go outside the UA where they began to train, while the other classes watched them, although Izuku caught his attention as he made an energy in his hand. Aizawa. Izuku already has no control over what? That put everyone in doubt. Izuku. This is something different. He said it while he released the energy. Izuku. Explode and spread. He said it while making the moon visible, through which he began to grow until he was a giant monkey, scaring everyone. Aizawa. Now what, Izuku? Izuku. I just want to get a new transformation. He said this as he began to scream in a way that scared everyone because of the noise he made in that form, but they saw how his body had a golden glow with some dark red as he began to get smaller to his normal size, but the glow continued until the glow went away, revealing an Izuku who wet the girl's panties. Izuku. This should be enough. Aizawa. And that. Izuku. Super Saiyan Transformation 4. At that moment some heroines appeared and surrounded Izuku. Izuku. What's wrong? Aizawa. You can leave my mature offspring Midnight, Lady, Mirko and Ryukyu. Midnight. Aizawa, you already said mature offspring, so it's big now and can be with us. Lady. Apart from that, her fur is soft. Mirko. I wonder if he shows himself to be a great monkey, then he will have a second tail. Ryukyu. Besides, he's a male elf worthy of a female dragon. Izuku. I have to try this new power. He said it while he left the girls to start meditating, and that aura was present, causing the women and girls to start taking a photo of Izuku, who didn't care about anything they did to him, since the women took the opportunity to touch his body, so the girls from class 2 did the same. Mirko. Indeed, it has a second tail. Izawa. Como. Mirko. Play it. Izawa. It's already good, he already received a lot of damage in Tartarus, and I don't want them to take away the purity that remains in my eldest son. He said it while spraying water on the girls, making them move away from Izuku while he meditated until he finished meditating to go to his base state, only for his shirt to go away. Izuku. I'll need some clothes that can withstand my phase 4. Midnight. I don't think so. That appears a blonde. Izuku. Mirio. Mirio. Hello Izuku, what does it sound like a fight to you? Izuku. You know I wouldn't refuse. He said it so that Mirio would go against Izuku, but he stepped aside to give him a blow that did nothing. Izuku. That's all. At that, Mirio began to hit him all over his body, but they did nothing so that Izuku with a simple blow sent him flying to appear in front of him. Izuku. You want more? Mirio. Well, I give up, I see that I can't do anything against you. At that moment, some hands would touch his chest. Najire. And you're better than before. The three of them were talking until Mirio and Najire left the place. App 11. After Izuku had his new transformation, the boy was walking calmly to his room, but a pink-haired girl did the worst and was created in the middle of his path by an evil Saiyan who is upset all the time and worse now that he has a certain hatred for all Class 2A. Mina. Hey Izuku. Izuku. Don't bother. Mina. Wait a minute. At that Izuku gives her what for him would be a light blow, but for Mina it was something serious causing her to fall to the floor. Izuku. Out of my way. Mina. That was a bit strong, can't it be a bit stronger? Izuku. Maybe you don't have a brain in your head from all the beatings I gave you, or I have to give you a hard time. Mina. Rico. Izuku. Road. Mina. Just for you, come on, all the girls want a piece of you after your transformation. Izuku just walked to enter his room and be calm until he left it. Lita. Izuku, where are you going? Izuku. Where you don't care. Lita. But I'm your president and… Izuku brought out some of his aura while looking at him, making him take a few steps back so Izuku could leave the UA. Mina. How about we follow Izuku? Momo. It doesn't seem right to me. Toru. Come on, don't tell me you're curious to know where Izuku is going. Everyone surrendered to Toru and Mina's words and began to leave the UA, seeing Izuku walking, so they followed the boy from afar, while he just walked calmly without anyone bothering him until they saw how he was in front of a place where they saw how a guard did not let him pass, but showed him something that looked like a badge, so they let him pass into the place. Volamos. Everyone went to see but the guard stopped them. Guard. If you want to get in you have to show me a ticket. That's when Momo arrived with some tickets, so they entered the place and walked to see a bar. It was one of those places where people sang while the others looked and listened. Kaminari. They don't think Izuku is coming here for drinks. Hiroshima. If so, Bakugo and I could have a bond with him. Jiru. But if he comes for the music, I'll take care of it. Presenter. Okay, people, here you have someone who appreciates a person who sings to them without having a band, just a small device where his music plays. Let's all give Cumber a good welcome. At that point, Class 2A who bought some non-alcoholic drinks to disguise themselves, saw Izuku with his mask appear. Announcer. Well Cumber, give us a good tune. Izuku. Do you want me to continue? People only encouraged him to continue. After the songs Izuku came down from the stage with a hat to start receiving money, but when he passed by Class 2A, he didn't even turn to look at them and then left to the place, well without anyone seeing him for some reason, everyone followed him to see how when he went to where the presenter was he gave him a large amount of money. Presenter. Because you brought a lot of people since you started singing. After that Izuku left the place so everyone tried to follow him, but when they left he was no longer there. Lita. We have to tell Izawa-sensei about this. Tomi. But it's enough that we find it often. Momo. We're going too far. At that, everyone, seeming not to have heard them, began to run to the UA until they reached Izawa's room where they heard laughter, thinking something strange since he never laughed at any joke. Izuku. And after his head entered the toilet, one came making a cut on my cheek giving me this scar, but I grabbed him and threw him out the window and the guards came in. Izawa. And what happened? Izuku. I told you that a prisoner escaped. Izawa. And they believed it. Izuku. Of course. The two of them laughed. Izawa. Ah, kids, what's up? Izuku was telling me what he did in his free time in Tartarus, besides telling me some of his songs that he sings, he already showed me some. I hope to go see you sing, Izuku. Izuku. Then we already have something pending. He said this to leave the place, leaving everyone in shock so they could leave later. Lita. I don't understand how Izawa approved that someone from his students sing. Hiroshima. Remember that he told us that Izuku is his most mature offspring. Haminari. So she just lets him drink and stuff. Bakugo. I'm not surprised since Izuku once drank with Izawa. Shoji. Seriously, we can't do anything. Mina. Let's look at the positive side that we already know that he sings, Jiru can help us. Jiru. I'll try. Toru. What is Izuku doing with his safe? He said it watching how he repaired the box in which he arrived at the UA, only to see how he put Ms. Joke inside. Lita. Something bad. They saw how he then took Izawa. Izawa. Izuku, what's wrong with your house? Izuku. I want you to try it, but you won't be alone. He said it as he put Izawa in and closed the door to sit down. Izawa. Izuku Sakum. Is joke. Izawa-kun. Izuku. You'll thank me later. That made everyone sweat. Hap 12. After everyone finds Izuku, apart from Izuku locking Izawa up with Ms. Joke, after that Izawa spent a long time looking for Izuku to kill him, but never found him in time, apart from Class 2 taking him out. A greater drop of sweat than before, now everyone was training normally, but Izuku stopped in the middle of training. Izawa. Pastor Izuku. Izuku. I feel something. He said it looking at the sky so that a black-haired man appeared who had what looked like black and green armor who looked at Izuku until he came down. Izuku. Who are you? I'm Broly and I came to fight you. Izawa. No me importa. At that Izuku put a hand in front of him. Izuku. Izawa-sensei, this guy is dangerous, leave it to me. He said this as he took a few steps while everyone went somewhere. Izuku. You're strong, I can see it. Broly. I am the legendary Saiyan. Izuku. Then it will be a very big fight. He said this as he launched himself at Broly, the two colliding fists making a crater, but Izuku tried to land another punch, but the same thing happened, so he tried a kick, but Broly blocked it to try to hit Izuku, who blocked it to try to hit him another punch, so he would start to bring out his aura. Landing a punch that moved Broly a few centimeters, but he hit Izuku causing him to go back, but he went against Broly, so he would hit him with a punch that Broly took, but he tried to hit Izuku, but he did the same taking his fist so they would start pushing, but neither of them moved, while Izuku let his dark aura show while with a scream he went to phase 1. Izawa. This is incredible. Hiroshima. They have great power. It's normal being them. Everyone looked at a kind of purple cat on a chair, well there was someone with blue fur, a small one with green fur and white hair, well there were two raven-haired ones. Izawa. Who are they? Hello, I'm Son Goku, this is Vegeta, the one here is Chirai, this is Mr. Beerus, and this is Whis. Bakugo. And who the buck cares? Goku. Vegeta, that boy is just like you. Vegeta. Shut up, bug. Izawa. And what are you doing here? Chirai. Since Goku doesn't know how to explain, I'll say it, I'm Chirai, Broly's wife, against whom this guy Izuku is facing. He is Goku, a low-class Saiyan, Vegeta is the Saiyan prince, he is Beerus, a god of destruction, and it's Whis, Beerus's assistant. And that I would explain to them about the god surprising everyone apart from the Saiyans and how they were the last, but they were interrupted by an explosion seeing Izuku in phase 3, while Broly was in his controlled Azaru form, even though he had his normal form while they bumped fists, followed by Izuku launching a Kai attack away from him. Momo. So the man there apart from these two gentlemen and Izuku are Saiyans. Chirai. Yes, although Goku passes to Vegeta. Whis. The fight between the legendary Super Saiyan against the Dark Saiyan is interesting. Tomi. What do you mean? Vegeta. Every 1000 years the legendary Super Saiyan appears who is Broly, a true prodigy in fights, while the evil one is one who is pure evil and is also a prodigy in battles. Goku. Although it is surprising to see that the evil Super Saiyan has a pure heart, something that has never happened apart from having those transformations. Izuku. I won't let someone like that beat me. He said this as he went into phase 4, surprising everyone, even Goku and Vegeta, who would land a hit on Broly, sending him crashing into the ground, followed by throwing Kai spheres that crashed into Broly, but he came out with phase 1 to knock Izuku out with 4 hits. Beerus. Well it's over. They saw how Broly carried Izuku on his shoulder to leave him on the floor, but Whis healed him and he regained consciousness. Izuku. Who are they? Then they told him the same thing as the others. Whis. This was to test your power. Izuku. Why? Bills. There will be a kind of battles which will be between Universe 6 and 7, so we wanted to see your power level. Izuku. Yuvio. Whis. You ended up on the team, that's good, it's just that Goku and Vegeta showed you their memories of how they had their transformations. Goku. Hey, can you show us how you had that transformation? Izuku puts his hands on their heads so they could see how he transformed into phase 4, apart from showing his memories of his betrayal of the Totters. Goku. Yuvio. Bills. Boy, we'll send you some people that you'll have to defeat, but mostly kill. Mine. Food. Bills. Yes, beings that are not human but are pure evil. Izuku. Well, I will defeat everyone who sends me. He said it so that those who had arrived would leave, so that Izuku and the rest could go inside. Chapter 13. After Izawa and the class saw Izuku's power, apart from knowing about the gods and about Izuku's power, everyone was in the room while Izuku was in his room, thinking about how to become stronger, apart from the enemies that were going to approach to fight him, until they knocked on his door. Izuku. Where is Izawa? Izawa. Izuku, we want to talk to you. And that they go to the room, making everyone leave, while Izuku looked at the teachers, the principal and those in the top 10, while class 2 were secretly watching without anyone noticing. Izuku. What do you want? Endeavor. We were told about the subject of the gods and that tournament, what is it about? Izuku. From what I understand, it will be a tournament to see the most powerful universe, it will be some fights with the best warriors of the two universes. Nezu. And it has a limited number of people. Izuku. At most. Nezu. Then the top 10 heroes would have to go. Izuku. No. Mirko. What are you talking about? Izuku. Bill's already chose his fighters and there are 5 of us. Izawa. But then the other universe will have 10 and it won't be a fair fight. Izuku. It will be fair since Universe 7 chose 5 Saiyans. Endeavor. They think they are very strong. Izuku. Look closely, the Saiyans become stronger during the fight. It appears that we not only have 3 ordinary Saiyans, we also have the legendary Super Saiyans and me, the evil one. Ryukyu. But don't they have the same thing? Izuku. At most they have a legendary Saiyan, but from what I know Broly is stronger while they don't have an evil one, since theirs are very good. Izawa. I think we'll have to let things go since from what we know he was chosen by the god of destruction and we can't contradict that. The heroes were only Izuku and Izawa left. Izawa. Be honest about how many opportunities we have. Izuku. From what I saw of the memories of the 3, I think we will face the best assassin 3 or 4 of the strongest Saiyans, 2 beings which functioned with their entire race, a type of robot, a being called a cold demon, and something that can withstand all the physical blows, so it will be difficult but we can win. Izawa. I know there must be a consequence. Izuku. At most the earth will belong to another destroyer god. Izawa. And what is that other god like? Izuku. From what I know, he's Bill's brother, only he's more evil, so we're in trouble if Universe 6 wins, but I won't allow it. Izawa. Can we go see the fights? Izuku. Yes, you can go, but hey, I have to go train. He said it while leaving the place. Chapter 14. After Izuku talked to the heroes about the tournament, Izuku immediately left the place to start training, so the teachers let him train, but when he went to train, everyone saw how Izuku went to the back of the UA, only to get a flower pot that had a plant that was somewhat ruined. Jiru. Something's wrong, Momo. Momo. It's just that days have passed since Izuku began to meditate in front of that plant and he didn't come in, he didn't eat, or I didn't even know if he slept. Mina. At least we can have a show. He said it while looking at Izuku's naked torso. Tomi. Still it stays that way. One day everyone was training and by accident an attack happened next to Izuku, but they saw that he didn't react as he remained the same. After a while Momo brought food as always to Izuku to leave him at his side. Momo. Still nothing. He said it while sitting next to him without him responding. Momo. Apparently not. He looked at the plant which was already on the verge of dying, but he saw how a red energy that looked like fire passed through the plant while it began to grow until it was like new, being a red flower. Momo. What did you do? He fell when he saw that Izuku now had red hair, well he had a fire aura which made Momo feel calm while he opened his eyes just to see the hands that had that aura to have a small smile, but he noticed the food in Momo. Izuku. And what is this? Momo. It's just that we brought you food very often and I just came. Mind. He never noticed us, not even on the nights it rained. Izuku. Thank you. He said it to start eating, making Momo have a smile as she started to eat with Izuku. Hiroshima. Hey everyone, look out the window. He said it so everyone could see Izuku eating with Momo having a red flower. Mina. How about we go? Tomi. No, you can barely tell that I stopped meditating. Toru. At least that red color looks better on him. They all said yes. Momo. And that new form? Izuku. It's the power of the gods. Momo. So you have the power of a god. Izuku. Yes, it's energy, but I don't have enough power to defeat one. Momo. I see. Izuku. If you want, keep the flower. Momo. Doesn't it bother you? Izuku. No, now I have to be able to practice this power. Momo. And that form is stronger. Izuku. Not only strong, it also makes me faster, you can tell by seeing that my muscles have become lower. Momo just noticed it, but she blushed when she saw Izuku's body. A while passed, and Izuku went to take a shower, but when he changed he was only feeling something. Izawa. Izuku, you're done meditating. Izuku. You are. Izawa. That tournament is getting closer and closer, but I didn't see any of those that would test you. Izuku. There comes one, actually. He said this while looking at the sky while Izawa did the same, seeing a scary being. Tap 15. After Izuku began his training having the power of the gods apart from talking a little with Momo apart from talking with Izawa, but they saw a being which at first glance looked very dangerous, apart from being a very strong one just by looking at it, so Izuku would prepare for anything. Izawa. What is that? Izuku. He is a demon from hell itself, born from the power of dark beings, all those who went to hell. Izawa. All the more reason it's dangerous. Izuku. I'll take it somewhere else. He said this as he began to fly while his companions watched this. Hiroshima. What is that? Haminari. Looks like a demon. They noticed how Izuku began to fly to launch a Kaiball, but they saw how the being made a kind of mirror which passed the sphere, but Izuku saw that behind him his own sphere appeared so he dodged it. Izuku. I know you understand me so we'll fight somewhere else. The being only started to laugh, so Izuku started to fly somewhere, so he started to follow him. Haminari. Now we won't know what's going to happen. May. In fact I put a robot on Izuku so we can see the fight. He said it to show a screen through which everyone could see how he flew. Izuku. It will be fine here. He said this as he landed in a desert with mountains and the being did the same. Izuku. Get ready because I will defeat you. The being only laughed to see how Izuku went against him, so he tried to cut him with his sword, but Izuku dodged it to give him a blow that lifted him into the air, followed by Izuku grabbing him by the leg to crash him against the floor, but he saw how the being left from a few cubes. Izuku. What? And that he sees on one side where the being that threw a Kai sphere at him appeared, but Izuku deflected it with his hand to see how he tried to hit it with the sword, but Izuku dodged it until at one point he took it with his hand, while he took out his aura to break the sword, as if it were nothing to hit it full force. Izuku. You didn't think I was going to cut that so easily. The being only looked at him annoyed, and with his finger, he made a kind of line that shone, but he saw how it broke, so that it would go against Izuku, so he covered himself with his arm receiving the attack. We had some cuts on his body, but when he looked he received a kick in the face that made him back off, but the being when he tried to give him another hit Izuku only received a fist in the face. They take his arm and hit him, but when he saw that it began to become cubes, he threw a Kai sphere at him to see how he appeared on the other hand hurt, so that he would go against the demon, but he stretched his arm taking it by the neck, but before he did something to him, Izuku stopped him to grab him by the arm and make him rise in the air to make him slam against the floor. Izuku. Damn, you are a real problem. He rose into the air to see how he prepared an attack, but Izuku did the same, making a giant sphere, while the place turned a dark red color. Izuku. Evil sphere. In his Super Saiyan 2 form. He said it while launching the attack, colliding with the demons, causing the place to begin to shake, but they saw how Izuku's attack advanced until it collided with the demon, while he screamed until the dust left, revealing that there was only a crater, meaning that everything is over. Izuku. Si termino. Tap 16. After Izuku had fought against the demon, he went to the UA where he arrived so that he could go to the infirmary to have his wounds treated, so that once he had done that he went to the room where he saw the teacher with those from class 2A, so he took out some kind of small robot which he gave to Mei. Izuku. You forgot this. Izawa. What era is it? Izuku. He is a demon from hell that was born from negative desires. When a soul goes to hell, it is put into something that serves to bring out its evil parts like a machine. Hiroshima. And what happened? Izuku. One day the machine broke and that being Janemba was created. Then someone they recognized walks in. Izuku. Mr. Whis. Whis. I came to explain about the tournament. At that he became serious. Izuku. What will it be like? At that Whis made a sphere that everyone looked at, a kind of labyrinth. Whis. Our universe cast 5 while the other universe chose 10 warriors. Hiroshima. And that maze. Whis. Each group will enter through 2 entrances that are placed at 2 ends far from each other. They will walk until they find one of the opponents. The fights can be between 1 against 2 or more as they want. Izuku. We will practically have to see how we will fight. Whis. Yes, once you train you will not be able to feel the Kai of others, neither yours nor those of Universe 6. You will be able to feel it when you enter into a fight against your opponent. Izuku. I see. Do you know who our enemies will be? Whis. They will have hit 4 Saiyans, 2 Namekians, a cold demon, 1 who is a robot and 1 who can observe hits. Izuku. So I deduced it correctly. Whis. Every time you lose 1 you will be teleported to the stands and it will be said who from which universe lost. Izuku. This tournament will be interesting. Aizawa. One question, they didn't have better participants. Whis. Yes, we were thinking of some like Frieza, but Mr. Beerus wants to see what Izuku is capable of. Toru. But if they can choose more, why not that freezer? Izuku. Better not choose it. Whis. I'm leaving now. He said it as he left. Haminari. Not choosing that Frieza. Izuku. Freezer is a universal tyrant, he tortures and kills for pure pleasure, someone who should not be trusted since he is a betrayed rat who destroys a planet if he is not useful. Aizawa. That's a demon. Izuku. His race belongs to the cold demons, the damn one is capable of killing his own soldiers for just a small mistake. Shoji. I wouldn't like to know it. Izuku. Anyway, I'm going to rest. He said it while going to his room. Pap 17. After Izuku told him about what the tournament would be like, apart from the participants, the boy only prepared for the tournament by training as best he could with Divine Kai, while the others only watched his training, since they still couldn't get over the shock that Izuku he used divine power, only using the trees and plants that were bad to fix them until one day he went to bathe where he came out with only a towel. Izuku. Who took my clothes? He said this while cracking his fists. Mina. Not me. He said this while hiding Izuku's clothes, making him get a tick on his head while the girls took pictures of Izuku's still wet body. Izuku. Choose where you want me to hit you. Mina. In the ass. Izuku. Why do I ask? He said this as he grabbed his clothes and went to put them on. Mina. You didn't say you were going to. She fell silent as a hand entered Izuku's room so she could leave for a few minutes while touching her butt. Momo. What happened? Mina. Well. Flashback. You can see how he entered Mina so that Izuku could sit down, but he put Mina on his legs lying down so that he could give her a few slaps on the butt and then leave her. End of flashback. Mina. I don't regret anything. At that Izuku went out to walk a little but saw something on TV. Newscast. A being of enormous eyes is coming out of the forest while the heroes are trying to do something. At that Izuku left until he arrived. Endeavor. What are you doing here? Izuku. That being is called Hirudegarn, leave what I'll take care of. The heroes began to leave as he looked at Hirudegarn. Izuku would go against him launching some Kai attacks which Hirudegarn received as if it were nothing, but Izuku managed to hit him, followed by going to the head to kick him causing him to fall. But when he tried to hit him again, he went up in smoke to appear above him, trying to crush him by putting his foot on top of him, so he was holding him, but he disappeared into smoke again to hit him from behind, causing him to be sent flying. Izuku. This is going for bad. He said it while he went to phase 1, dodging Hirudegarn's tail to try to hit him, but he went back to being smoke, but he managed to dodge a blow from Hirudegarn to launch Kai spheres which he received squarely, so he tried to hit him. Blow in the stomach, but he kept dodging it as if it were nothing so Izuku noticed how he avoided his attacks. Izuku. He doesn't avoid Kai attacks, but he does avoid physical ones. He said this to start flying, dodging the fire that Hirudegarn was throwing at him to go against this direct attack, but he tried to do something by going against him, but he dodged it, seeing how the giant fell to the ground and stayed there. Izuku. What's wrong? He said this as he threw a Kai sphere that hit him squarely, only to see it begin to break until it came out in a different form. Izuku. Great, and now he can fly. He said this as he watched how he was going at him trying to hit him, but he blocked it causing him to crash into the ground, so he watched as he was throwing fire at him, so he had to make a Kai barrier protecting himself from the attack to move on to phase 2. Izuku. I have to end this. He said it while he was going against the giant, avoiding his attacks, so he proceeded to throw the Kai spheres that hit him in the eye, making him unable to see, so he took the opportunity to hit him squarely in the stomach to continue with more blows. Full against the giant who made him fall, but before he did one more Hirudegarn hit him that sent Izuku flying. Izuku. I better finish this with one last attack. At the UA. Momo. Let's go Izuku. Tomi. He can't lose. In the fight. Izuku. Kai attacks have no effect on him, but physical ones do. He said this to bring out his aura, and when he threw a punch at him, Izuku received it but endured it to start going against Hirudegarn, who upon seeing him, tried to hit him again, but Izuku dodged it to hit him with a punch that pierced Hirudegarn's chest, causing a huge hole as he threw an energy attack at him that this time eliminated him once and for all. Pap 18. After Izuku fought against Hirudegarn, a few days passed in which the news talked a lot about him, so it didn't take long for him to become famous as the hero Cumber, so outside of UA he had to endure the people who approached him, apart from his classmates who wouldn't leave him alone. Izuku. What does an evil Saiyan have to do to be at peace? He said this while walking through the forest. Izuku. Anyway, the tournament will be held tomorrow, and I have to be ready for anything. As I was walking I ended up in the city somehow and saw that there was no one there. Izuku. How strange that no one is there. Then he goes to a place where the newscast sold televisions. News. Tomorrow there will be a tournament in which 10 people will fight against 5, what can you tell us about this endeavor? Endeavor. Just watch the news, there will be fights. Izuku. Those bastards will make us look like propaganda. Izuku went to the UA where he entered more than annoyed by how the fights would take place, but he stopped because of a girl who stood in front of him. Izuku. Different. Different. Hola Izuku. Izuku. Hello, what are you doing here? Mirio. Aizawa brother. Izuku. Yuvio. Iri. Are you going to fight tomorrow? Izuku. Yes, I will defeat all those who stand in front of me. Mind. At least they didn't say anything about gods or Saiyans. Then he sees a light where he sees that it is Beerus, Whis and 4 more people. Bills. Hola Izuku. Izuku. Did something happen? Bills. No, I just brought some people so they could get to know each other better. At that point, the 5 of them go into a room. Izuku. Now who is he? I am Bardock, the first Super Saiyan. Goku. Practically according to Mr. Beerus we are going to win because we are unique. Izuku. How unique? Vegeta. It's because everyone has something different. Kakarot is a low-class Saiyan who is very strong, I am a high-class Saiyan, Broly is the legendary Super Saiyan, Bardock is the first Super Saiyan, and you are the evil Super Saiyan. Izuku. I see, he said that we have to get to know each other well, but how will we do it? Well, outside. Endeavor. Mr. Bills, why don't you let us heroes enter the tournament? Bills. I chose the Saiyans and that's it. Whis. You see, the Saiyans are a warrior race, but they have something special. Mirko. Special. Whis. Goku, a low-class Saiyan who is very powerful, surpassing Vegeta, a high-class Saiyan. Bardock, Goku's father in one way or another, was able to travel back in time avoiding his death and became the first Super Saiyan, while Broly is the legendary Super Saiyan, while Izuku is the evil Saiyan, each one is special in certain ways, so we don't have to worry about anything in the tournament. Momo. And what are they doing? Whis. Mr. Beerus put them in a room so they could get to know each other, but I said it was a bad idea since they are not the Saiyans of Universe 6. Nezu. What about you? Whis. They are more peaceful than those of our universe since ours are more aggressive. Aizawa. How much? Just then they hear an explosion, and when they look outside they see the room where the 5 were destroyed while they were fighting in the air throwing Kai spheres and more things scaring the heroes. Whis. Something like that. At that Whis disappears to reappear behind each one, giving them a light blow to the neck, causing them to end up lying on the floor. Whis. Save your strength for tomorrow, guys. The 5. Yes sir Whis. Everyone already had a drop of sweat on their faces about this. Ap 19. After everyone knows what the tournament would be about, everyone was waiting, although the 5 Saiyans also met in the best way, having a little fight, but they were calmed down by Whis to wait for tomorrow, which is why the day flew by, becoming night when the entire class 2 went to sleep to go see the fight with their own eyes, but Izuku was looking for a glass of water to go to sleep. Momo. Can't you sleep? Izuku. Is that what I have to ask you to? Tomi. We just came to have a drink, that's all. Izuku. Come on. He said it while going to his room. Momo. I wish you luck tomorrow. Izuku just looked at her for a moment. Izuku. Thank you. He said it to enter his room, and the next day would arrive when everyone got up early to prepare things for Aizawa. Izuku. Okay, is everyone ready? All? Yes. Haminari. These fights are going to be exciting. Hiroshima. I want to see the manhood of Universe 6. Bakugo. They will all be extras. At that point they entered a cube which began to rise into the air to begin their journey. Izuku. It'll take a while. Mirko. Now where are we? At that Izuku did something so that everyone could see the space. Izuku. It will take a while, but we will get there soon. At that Izuku's fist was almost trembling, but no one noticed it, least of all someone who saw it. Momo. Don't worry, you'll surely win. He said it by taking her hand. Izuku. I don't know why you say that. He said it looking the other way. Inko. Son, win for the universe and for your mother. Izuku. I'll win anyway. Izumi. Come on brother. And that they arrived at a planet where they went down to see the whole place, but they saw Bills with the others while on the other hand there were those from Universe 6. Izuku. When the fights start. Bills. At the request of the warriors we will let them meet, but then they fight. Izuku. Yuvio. That's when those from Universe 6 approached. Goku. Hola hit. Hyab. Master. Vegeta. Damn. Caulifla. Hey, who are you? Some girls the same age as Izuku said this while referring to them. Kale. Sister, don't act like that, I'm Kale, this is my sister Caulifla, and her name is Kefla. Izuku. I am Izuku the evil Super Saiyan, this is Broly our legendary Super Saiyan, and this is Bardock, Goku's father. Kefla. So they are Saiyans, but why don't we have an evil Saiyan? Izuku. No Saiyan is bad enough to reach this form. Bardock. Don't waste words. In a few minutes, you'll be fighting them all. Izuku. Bardock, we're just going to talk, but later we're going to fight. While the Saiyans were talking to Izuku, the UA girls got jealous when they saw how he talked to them, but not to them. Champa. Get ready because you are going to fight. And that each group went to its side. Bills. What is their plan? Whis. Everyone is going to go on their own. Bills. Don't be beasts and be together. On Earth, all of Japan was looking at the labyrinth apart from seeing the fighters ready to start. Well, they thought that Beerus's group would go in a group, but as soon as the bell rang to start, each one went their own way. Hap 20. After each of the two universes met, they left to begin the tournament, each entering the labyrinth through different parts, while those from Universe 6 did something similar, while everyone watched the tournament apart from where the warriors were walking, leaving them with the perfect view. Person 1. That guy Goku, Vegeta and Bardock don't look as strong as the other two. Person 2. Apart from that, the other group has twice as many people. This and more things were said on Earth, while Class 2 looked at things apart from the heroes, with Bardock walking until he dodged an attack. Bardock. Who's there? He said it while a robot appeared. Bardock. It's just you, this will be easy. He said it while he was going against a robot which was launching lava attacks that Bardock dodged to give him a blow that sent him crashing against some stones. Bardock. You're not even good at training. And that he sees how a tide of lava went against him, so he moved away to see how the robot got up a little angrier than before to go against Bardock. Bardock. Increased his speed. He thought about it to dodge his blows to send a Kai sphere into his stomach that made him end up moving away from him, but he didn't give him a break when he threw more Kai balls at him, which hit the robot which got up, while it was obvious that he didn't have a scratch. Bardock. Looks like I'll have to be tougher. He went against him to give him a few blows, but when he gave him one in the chest he was sent flying, revealing how he was in Super Saiyan. Bardock went against the robot beginning to deliver blows which the robot blocked, although it was beginning to be noticed that it already had some damage. Bardock. You're junk. He shouted it while the robot opened its eyes while being sent to crash against some stones, but when the dust disappeared, he saw how it was crying. Bardock. What's wrong with you? Magetta. He would call me junk. He said it while crying more. Bardock. Sorry. Magetta. Really? Bardock. See. But that he got up while wiping away his tears to go against Bardock, who dodged his blows to hit him with a blow that crashed him against the wall while preparing an attack. Bardock. Energy cannon. He said it while launching the attack that hit him squarely, leaving him out of combat. Betos. Magetta from Universe 6 lost. At that Magetta began to disappear while Bardock returned to his base state to begin walking before everyone's eyes. Person 2. Apparently he was underestimated. Person 3. But what was that about being blonde? Everyone was talking about the topic while elsewhere Broly was walking. Hap 21. After the tournament began where the first fight was Bardock against Magetta, which Bardock won in front of everyone who was excited to see the following fights that were coming while Broly was walking calmly, but he received a full Kai attack while a copy of Winnie Pooh was present. Whis. Fight between Broly from Universe 7 against Batamo from Universe 6. Batamo. This fight will be easy. At that Broly walked towards him without any problem. Batamo. You're going to make it easy. He said it while throwing more Kai balls which he hit at Broly, but when he left in a cloud of dust, no damage was seen on him as he walked. Batamo. How? He threw more Kai balls, but they didn't work since Broly was in front of him and hit him in the stomach, but Batamo didn't hurt him. Batamo. Hahaha, you're not going to be able to do anything to me, all the hits you give me will be sent to another dimension, in short, you're not going to do anything to me. By saying that people wondered if they could against someone who cannot be harmed. Batamo. Tell me, what are you going to do? At that point he gave him another blow and another, but he noticed that he was somewhat moved backwards, so that he began to give him more blows, which caused him to be sent backwards until in one he sent him crashing against the rocks so that he could get up, but Broly was already there. In front of him to give him more blows which raised a cloud of dust, but when the cloud of dust left it was seen that Batamo was unconscious. Champa. How is this possible? Betos. Batamo from Universe 6 lost. At that Batamo leaves in glitter while Broly takes his march. Izuku. Apparently Universe 2 doesn't give much. He then jumps back, seeing Caulifla trying to kick him. Izuku. Finally my turn. Elsewhere was Vegeta in front of Kayab. Kayab. Master, I will defeat him. Whis. Vegeta from Universe 7 vs Kayab from Universe 6. Vegeta just looked at him. Person. Watch another fight. Kayab went against Vegeta trying to hit him, but Kayab dodged it easily, and more than once he blocked his blows, as if nothing had happened before the eyes of everyone who saw how Vegeta gave him a kick that sent Kayab flying, which he rejoined to go against Vegeta, who continued doing the same, but when Kayab at one point went to phase 1, he hit Vegeta who was pushed back so that he could see how. Kayab launched Kai spheres which he dodged to be behind. From Kayab to hit him with a blow that sent him to the floor. Kayab. He is strong master. Vegeta. Come on or you're going to tell me that's all. Kayab got up to move on to phase 2 when he went against Vegeta trying to hit him, succeeding in doing so by getting him lifted into the air so he could hit him with a mallet, but when he went to hit him again, Vegeta in phase 2 stopped him without any problems, staring him straight in the face, and with one blow he sent him flying, crashing into the wall. But Kayab tried to hit him with some energy attack, but only Vegeta dodged it, responding with another energy attack. Vegeta. This is over. He said it as Kayab fell to the floor unconscious. Betos. Kayab from Universe 6 lost. Vegeta only resumed his walk. Hap 22. After the fight between Broly and Batamo, apart from Vegeta and Kayab, it was seen who the next fighters would be, while in one part Izuku and Kefla were staring at each other, since neither of them made a move while they listened to those who had lost regardless of them. Izuku. What do you want to confront me with? Kefla. I've never faced an evil Saiyan, and I'm not the only one. And that Izuku blocks two kicks that were going to his face revealing Kefla and Kale. Izuku. This will be interesting. He said this while letting his negative aura show, so the girls only let their auras be seen except for Kale, who moved to one side. Whis. Cumber from Universe 7 vs Kefla and Kefla from Universe 6. Person. That's the boy who fought that giant. Person. I heard that he is very strong. Izuku. Whenever you want. Kefla along with Kefla attacked from the front, causing Izuku to block their blows to move them away to go first against Kefla, trying to hit her, for which the girl had to cover herself to dodge an attack from Kefla to go against her, which she covered herself, only to avoid the blows that Izuku began to give, which made her move backwards by the force that the attacks of the Raven contained. That threw her further back, but a kick moved him away from her revealing Kefla, which began to throw Kai balls that hit Izuku, who covered himself from the attacks thrown at him until he increased his aura, removing the cloud of dust, while he looked at the girls. Izuku. Apparently I'll have to get more serious. Elsewhere you can see a Broly walking calmly but dodging an attack from two people watching some Namekians. Namekian 1. Looks like we found one. Namekian 2. Let's finish him off. Between the two of them they went against Broly trying to hit him doing it, but their blows did nothing to the Saiyan who with a shout made them move away so that they began to throw Kai balls, which did nothing to Broly who walked towards them, who were beginning to get scared of the man in front of them. Name 1. Damn. At that, Broly appears in front of him, making him feel some fear since he was bigger than him, so that he received a blow that left him on the floor, followed by receiving another that sank him, so that the second Namekian tried to throw all his power on the back, achieving the goal by making a huge explosion. Name 2. This is what? He shouted the last thing when he saw a still intact Broly who attacked him, starting to hit him, which he could not block in time, receiving the damage, which was worse for him while he was massacred until he ended up out of combat lying on the floor, but Broly he looked at the other who tried to escape but took him to smash his face against the wall. Starting to run to leave the unconscious disappearing in that way. Broly. Useless. In the fight between Izuku and the two girls, they tried to throw Kai balls at him, which Izuku dodged to go against them, which moved away from him, but before he got there in time, a kick sent him crashing into some rocks, causing him to stay there until he got up to see Kale transformed, while the other two went into phase 1. Izuku. They're strong together, but I want to see what they do with this. He said it to move on to phase 2. Izuku. Now the real fight begins. Hap 23. After Broly fought against the Namekians, apart from Izuku having had a fight against Kefla and Kefla in which Kale also got involved, so that each one transformed into phase 1 while Izuku in phase 2, looking at the girls who became in combat pose just like him. Betos. A change of things now Kale also got involved. Kefla. You are strong and I have to admit it. Kefla. You could handle yourself against the two of us, but now with Kale things are a little different. Izuku. For me it will only be the same, I just have to increase my power. The three girls went against Izuku who threw some Kai balls at Kale which she had to dodge, but she covered herself from the blows of Kefla and Kefla so that she hit the two of them at the same time, moving them away, but she covered herself from the blows from Kale until he moved away so that the girl could go against him, but Izuku only waited for her to throw his fist at him before taking it and throwing it to the ground, but he got back up before touching the ground. Kefla. Understanding. Izuku. What? Kefla. There is a rumor about the couples of the Saiyans of Universe 7. Izuku. And which one is it? Kefla. It's that they are only attracted to women who are strong. Izuku. What are you trying to get at? Kefla. If I defeat you then that will make me strong, and that will say that you have feelings for me, and it would partly explain why you don't attack us with all your power. Izuku. You want to see all my power. He said it to rise up to a rock. Izuku. You will see my power. He said this to begin to increase his power by making his evil aura appear, which began to shake the place until the rock where Izuku was broke and began to float. Izuku. I hope you're ready because now I'm not going to hold back. So that at the moment he went against the girls while in another part with Bardock who was walking he looked around until he noticed a guy. Bardock. You are hit from Universe 6. The killer just looked at him. Bardock. They say you're the strongest. He said it as he passed the Super Saiyan. Bardock. I'll prove it. Bardock would go against Hit but at one point Hit would give him a blow that pushed him away. Bardock. K. At that point, he would move on to phase 3, where he would stare at Hit to go against him, only to receive a hit followed by another, so that he would begin to receive more hits until at one point Hit stopped and Bardock fell to the floor to everyone's shock. Betos. Bardock from Universe 6 lost. In Izuku's fight, he was already in front of Kefla to give her a blow that sent her flying to jump to dodge an attack from Kale and Caulifla, who attacked Izuku who dodged their attacks until he got in front of Caulifla to give her a blow that sent her to the ground. Then Izuku received an attack from Kale causing him to end up on the ground, but he dodged an attack from Kale in time, although he couldn't avoid a blow from Kefla from behind, but in a quick movement, he grabbed her by the arm to throw her against the rocks to hit her, but before she continued, he had to block a kick from Kale, but couldn't avoid an attack from Caulifla that pushed him away. Izuku. This is getting harder for some reason. And that he covers himself avoiding an attack from Caulifla and Kefla, but he endured it until the two gave a scream passing through Izuku's defense, giving him a hit at the same time sending him flying while they were seen in phase 2. App 24. After Universe 7 had its first loss being Hit's fight against Bardock, followed by Izuku's fight against the three Saiyans of Universe 5, becoming more difficult and more so because they went to phase 2, being worse for him. Boy watching this. Kefla. What do you think now? Are we strong for you? Caulifla. I don't think I'll answer that. Kefla. Why? Caulifla. I think we hit him very hard. Just then Izuku came out of the floor. Izuku. Well, they'll have to hit me better if they want to knock me out. Before Izuku could hit them, he received a Kai attack from Kale. Kale. You forgot about me. Izuku. Now I remembered you. He said it as he stood up. Kefla. Ready. Because now it won't be so easy. Izuku. As if that matters. Izuku went against them but had to dodge an attack from Kefla to take Kale and Caulifla's fists to lift them up and crash them against the floor, but received a kick from Kefla so that she began to hit Izuku while talking to him and he listened. Kefla. Tell me, do you think I'm strong? What do you think of me? He said this to give him a kick that sent him crashing against some rocks. Izuku. Because you want to know what I think. Kefla. If you think I'm someone very strong, I'll also test you if that's how a Saiyan from your universe trusts his love for a woman. Izuku. Why are you so interested? The last thing was when he was in front of Kefla to hit her, but received two attacks from Caulifla and Kale. Caulifla. Kefla concentrate. Izuku. I won't let them beat me. He shouted while his evil aura was present to go against them, which only dodged Izuku's blows, but Kale hit him on the back so that he tried to attack him, but Kale was no longer there, so he received a kick from Caulifla, but he tried to do the same, but he was no longer there, but Kefla hit him and pushed him away, but when he saw the three in front of him, they threw 3 Kai spheres at him at the same time. That hit him squarely causing him to end up on the floor with some smoke coming out of him as he stood up and looked up seeing the three. Momo. Come on Izuku, you can do it. Tomi. He will win. Izawa. Izuku is my strongest offspring, he can handle this. Elsewhere you can see Vegeta walking, but he deflected an attack so he could see Frost. Frost. You damn thing, I'll get revenge for the last time you humiliated me. Frost tried to attack Vegeta, but he was already in front of Frost, hitting him in the stomach, knocking the air out of him, followed by another blow that sent him crashing into some rocks. Vegeta. How useless. Frost. Damn. He said it to start launching Kai spheres which were all deflected by Vegeta who, when he was in front of Frost, gave him another blow to the stomach to leave him lying on the floor. Vegeta. Insect. He started to leave, but Frost got up quickly. Frost. Damn you, die. He launched an attack at Vegeta who responded with another attack that overshadowed Frost's so that he could be eliminated. Betos. Frost from Universe 6 lost. Champa. Let's go, 3 Saiyans against 1. At that the three girls made huge enzyme Kai spheres from their hands. Kefla. I would really like to see you tell me that I am very strong. The three of them threw the spheres which Izuku had to hold in his hands while he was thrown back while he looked at the spheres with impression until they exploded. Kale. This is over. Kefla. No. Kefla. What do you mean? Kefla. I didn't hear them say that he lost, apart from that, I feel something. At that point they watched as the dust disappeared while Izuku was seen in Phase 4. Chap 25. After Universe 6 lost another member while the three girls thought they already defeated Izuku, only to see him with his Phase 4, well he had a serious look to start walking without problem before the girls who were impressed by the new form of Izuku. Kale. It doesn't matter. He said this to launch two Kai spheres which were easily deflected by Izuku in front of the girls. Kefla. What kind of power is that? Izuku. This is the power of Super Saiyan 4. Kefla. Phase 4. Kale. It doesn't have to matter. Just then Izuku appeared in the middle of the three who were impressed. Kefla. When? Kale. How? The three attacked Kefla with a kick and the other two with their fists, but Izuku took the attacks with his hands and Kefla's kick with his tail to throw them elsewhere. Izuku. They want to see my power, they will see it. He said this while letting his aura show. Kale. It's nothing. She tried to go against Izuku, but he dodged her as if it were nothing to give her a blow that lifted her into the air and she jumped to see her, but before she could do anything, she received a flurry of blows and ended up lying on the floor unconscious. Betos. Kale from Universe 6 lost. Kefla. Damn it. Kefla. Kefla wait. Before Kefla could hear her, she tried to hit him, but Izuku grabbed her leg to throw her, but before she could get up, he launched a Kai attack that knocked her out. Betos. Kefla from Universe 6 lost. Kefla. You're awesome. With a shout I move on to Phase 3. Kefla. Now I defeat you and you are going to show me that transformation. The girl went against Izuku who began to dodge her attacks, and one more than the other blocked it to give her a blow that would push her away, but before she could do anything Izuku was already in front of her hitting her with a sphere of Kai, sending her crashing into the wall. Kefla went against Izuku trying to hit him, but he dodged it to hit her in the stomach. Izuku. You are very strong. Kefla hearing that had a smile as she fainted. Betos. Kefla from Universe 6 lost. Izuku. Now all that's left is. Hit. Where are you going? Izuku looks at him. Izuku's mind. When do I arrive? Izuku. I'll go for you. He said it to go against him, but received a blow that sent him crashing into the wall. Izuku. When? I didn't see his attack. At that point he dodges some of Hit's Kai attacks by looking at him. Izuku. Damn it. Izuku went against Hit but felt a flurry of blows although he never saw when he moved, falling to the ground but getting up with difficulty. Momo. Don't get up again. Izuku. No Termin. At that point he went into his red god mode looking at Hit to go against him, but he would receive a lot of blows that left him lying on the floor, but he kept getting up with difficulty, but he saw how Hit prepared an attack. Izuku. Apparently this is my end, but it won't be without a fight. Hit launched his attack, but a Kai ball avoided it. Goku. You fought well. Izuku. Goku. Goku. Now rest, I'll take care of it. Goku walked until he was in front of Hit. Chap 26. After the fight between Izuku and the three Saiyans where Izuku came out the winner although he was about to lose to Hit, but Goku arrived just in time who put Izuku in a safe place so he could see the fight that was coming because it was between the strongest. Whis. A change of plans, now Goku will fight. Betos. Contra Hit. The two looked at each other until Goku entered the Super Saiyan Blue phase. Goku. Hit, I want to see how much progress you make during this time. Since I have the energy to tell this fight, I'll put up a video. Let's say that in Goku's Kamehameha attack, he hit Hit squarely making Goku the winner of the fight. Betos. Hit from Universe 6 lost, the winner is Universe 7. When Goku's fight against Hit ended, they were teleported to where the others were, and the people of the earth were satisfied with seeing the fights that took place in that tournament. Izuku. Now what? Goku. Everyone goes to their own universe. Vegeta. And where he should be, at least this time Champa won't try to kill his warriors. Then the three Saiyans from Universe 6 approach. Kefla. Hey, I want you to show me Super Saiyan 4. While aiming at Izuku. Kefla. I'm sure this old man was the one who taught him. Goku. In fact he showed us how to reach Phase 4. Kefla. In that case you will teach us. Izuku. Okay, whenever you want. Kefla. We will go with you to your universe. Izuku. Nezu, is there room at UA for 3 more girls? Nezu. Yes. Izuku. In that case, just look for your things from your universe and come to mine if you want. The girls only said yes while they went to their universe to prepare their things, while the group from Universe 7 went to Earth where they celebrated their victory with a banquet, although for the 5 Saiyans, it was the same as a simple meal, all this until the Saiyans left the Earth along with the gods. Izuku, can you at least let me know about your techniques? Goku and Vegeta put their hands on his head, making him see all the techniques that these two had, so that they would leave, and then night would fall, so everyone was asleep except Izuku, who only went to eat an apple, while he had the bandages on. His body in a naked torso until he went to his room but met someone. Momo. Hello Izuku. Izuku. Hello. He walked on, continuing his walk. Momo. Do your wounds hurt? Izuku. You know. Momo. I'm not talking about the physical ones. Izuku. Not those either. Momo. Do you think I'm strong? Izuku Lamiro. Momo. I know my quirk isn't the best, but it's not the worst either, you know. Izuku puts a hand on his head. Izuku. Don't worry, you're strong no matter what you do, for me you're a strong person. That's what it's about. Izuku. But don't exaggerate. Momo smiled at this. Pap 27. After the tournament of the two universes had ended so that each one ended up at their house being calm, although more than that in the bedrooms where everyone thought what to do since they had free time, but everyone saw Izuku walking which seemed to be getting everyone's attention. Momo. Izuku, where are you going? Izuku. Let's train. Hiroshima. Why? Izuku. I'm not going to make myself weak while there are stronger people elsewhere. The boy left the place making everyone follow him. They saw how he began to lift a huge weight without difficulty. Izawa. You've already started training. Izuku. And here I thought it was going to be calm. Izawa. You need to get some rest. Izuku. And let there be people who become stronger. No thanks, I am a Saiyan, someone who must show that he is the strongest. Izawa. You're the strongest in the class. Izuku. You know what I mean. Out of nowhere a pillar of light appeared making Izawa and Izuku think it was Beerus, but to their surprise, it was the 3 Saiyans with Vados. Izuku. Kefla, Kale, Caulifla. Kale. Hello Izuku. Izuku. What are you doing here? Kefla. We came to train, you're going to show me those transformations. Izuku. In that case, Miss Vados, you can give them some tails like mine. Vados. Yes. He pointed his staff making his tails emerge. Vados. If you don't need anything else, I'll leave. The woman left the place before everyone's eyes. Kefla. And what is this for? Izuku. I'm the only one who knows how to reach phase 4 and they need a tail to reach it. Caulifla. As long as I have a transformation and become stronger. Kale. Wait a minute, we told you we were going to stay here for a few months and we have nowhere to live or money. Kefla. We'll be staying at Izuku's house. Izuku. About that, since I'm at the academy we live in dormitories, but I think my mom has room for you guys. Kefla. No, you train us, we live with you. Izawa. In that case they will sleep next to Izuku and they will have to go to classes. That made the girls look at Izawa badly, while the boys said that Izuku was very lucky. Caulifla. It's okay. Izawa. Now you can train. Izuku. Anyway, it's really late, let's go eat. Everyone went to eat so they would end up going to sleep. When they went to sleep the boys had to use Zero's tape to prevent the girls from ending up going to Izuku's room. When Izuku went to sleep with the 3 Saiyans they ended up being in Kale on Izuku's right arm, Caulifla on the left side and Kefla on his chest, without them realizing it. The tails of the 3 girls joined Izuku's in a way that made them like being with the boy at the same time. The next day the uniform was given to the girls who went to classes. Kefla. Now we'll have to sit through some very boring classes. Izuku. You guys agreed to this. When they arrived at the classroom they sat next to Izuku. The classes went normally, although the girls wanted to go against the 3 Saiyans who were very close to Izuku. Izuku. Okay, put this down. He said it, showing some suits like Vegeta's. Kale. Why? Izuku. It's going to help them during training. The 3 girls put it on so that they would end up going to a part where there was no one. Izuku. In order to have phase 4 you first have to control his arrow mode. The 3 of them nodded for Izuku to make a mini moon which he threw into the air so that the girls would transform and lose control. Izuku watched as they tried to control themselves until they finally did. Izuku. Incredible, they learned to control it in a short time. Caulifla. That was obvious. Kale. Izuku, why is everyone trying to get your attention? Izuku would only tell them how everyone betrayed him, making the 3 of them feel bad for Izuku. When they went to UA the girls only went to sleep with Izuku being the same way, but something was happening, since the girls were trying to provoke the low instincts of a Saiyan to Izuku who contained himself all the time. Pap 28. After the three Saiyans arrived on Earth from Universe 7 so that they could begin to be trained by Izuku so that they could have Phase 4 apart from attending UA at this time Izuku and the three Saiyans were in the classroom of Class 2 quietly until the bell rang to go to the dining room, so they went. Kefla. Classes are very boring. Kale. They seem somewhat informative to me for this universe. Caulifla. Anyway, can we eat now? The four Saiyans arrived to grab a bunch of food and sit at a table where they began to eat. Kendo. Hey, why do you eat almost all the food? Monoma. Maybe because they never ate in their life and now they have something to eat. Izuku. We eat so much for our metabolism, we need energy to fight. Bara. And all the fat they end up eating and all that. Kefla. You keep training, if you train it is almost impossible for you to gain weight and you can have a better body. He said this as the girls from Class B looked at Kefla's body with a bit of envy. Izuku. Well, we have to start putting the lock on the door and window. Kale. Why? Izuku. Because this morning I don't know why Aizawa-sensei came in to wet us with a hose. Flashback. In Izuku's room the young man was sleeping peacefully although the other three were awake. Kefla. Hey, you saw he beat us in a fight, he has a good body, a lot of energy, how long do you think he can last in bed? Kale. How can you ask that Kefla ni? Kefla. It's just that I've been listening to him for a while and I feel something between my legs and it's long as well as thick. Kale. It could be Izuku's legs. Kefla. No, her legs are somewhere else. Caulifla. Maybe her tail. Kale. But I do have his tail. The three of them blushed because there was only one thing missing between Izuku's legs. Caulifla. Let's test how long he lasts in bed. Kale. How can you? Kefla. Let's go. In Aizawa's room he was sleeping peacefully, but out of nowhere he opened an eye while in Aizawa's mind, as if he were a Terminator. Aizawa. Most mature offspring Izuku Midoriya, age 17 about to turn 18, Class 2A, strongest in the class, Saiyan ability with more than 4 transformations, 4th located possibly being violated at this time, Mama Caterpillar's defense activated. In Izuku's room the three Saiyans were about to take off his pants, but with a kick the door was opened by Aizawa who had a hose. Aizawa. I won't let them touch my offspring, stay away from it bitches. The teacher threw water everywhere, causing Izuku to wake up. Izuku. What the hell is going on? Aizawa. My child will not be raped as long as I am alive. The three girls ended up going out the window due to the enormous pressure of water. Then flashback. Kefla. I don't know what happened to him. She said them with a small blush while her sisters followed her in passing to prevent Izuku from ending up trying to find out a little about the subject until they finished eating so they could leave the place. They walked a little until Izuku heard something. Momo. Izuku, can you come? Izuku just followed her to a part where there was no one. Izuku. K-pa. He was silenced when he felt a hug from the Raven girl who did not want to let go of Izuku, apart from the fact that he felt something wet, being the tears of the same girl wetting part of Izuku's clothes. Momo. I'm sorry. Izuku. Momo. I'm sorry if I didn't tell you anything about that plan, I swear that at the beginning we did want to do it, but before you came back from Todders I regretted having wanted to do that stupid plan. Tomi and Bakugo are the same as me, we regret having I made that plan before you returned to the UA. Izuku could only hug Momo who felt the boy's arms hug her. Izuku. Okay, I forgive you as well as those other two. Without them realizing it, they were being watched by three Saiyans. Kale. He's getting really close to Izuku. Caulifla. He broke her heart once, we won't let it happen a second time. The three of them looked at this, while the Raven girl just cried into Izuku's chest. Pap 29. After Izuku partially trained the girls only to meet Tomi and Momo and think about forgiving them, at this moment Izuku was walking down the street calmly until he saw the three Saiyans with the two girls of his class having evil smiles while looking partly at Izuku. Izuku. I don't think I'm saved from this one. The boy walked in the opposite direction but noticed how the girls began to follow him, so he increased his pace as did the others until they caught up with him. Izuku. Hello girls, I didn't see you. Momo. Shut up and come with us. The boy paid attention so that after a few hours they would find themselves in a house that was on a mountain. Izuku. I understand that you want me to help you, but I don't know what you want me to help you with, or at least why you brought me here. The boy looked at the place until he set his sights on the girls who started to kiss each one, but things were changing since each time the kisses were changing to some with lust beginning to take off his clothes. Izuku. Girls, this is not right. Tomi. Don't worry, nothing bad is going to happen. Izuku. Who is Aizawa? Caulifla. We've already taken care of that. At the UA. The teachers and students of Class A and B were fighting against something more dangerous. Kendo. Now May, shoot now. The pink-haired boy showed a type of bazooka that he shot at Izuku, who was apparently walking in the direction of where Izuku was. When the missile hit the black-haired boy, a cloud of smoke formed. Hiroshima. Did we stop him? He said this while coming out of a tank wearing a military helmet that was more than ready for war, but they saw how two red eyes appeared from the smoke, while Izuku slowly came out as if nothing had happened, although they swore that where there should have been skin there was metal, but they put that aside. Bakugo. Plan B, stop the caterpillar Terminator. All Might launched himself at Mama Caterpillar. All Might. Everything is fine, why? Because I am here, let your offspring mature more Izuku. When he was in front of Izuku and was about to connect a smash, the black-haired man hit him so hard that he was sent against a wall, leaving him unconscious, but he was caught by Zero's ribbons, so that everyone began to pull him back, but it was useless, since they were dragged without knowing where he got his strength from. Bakugo. Where does he get so much strength from? Hiroshima. That doesn't matter, we have to make at least one of us able to become a real man. In his mind, Izuku saw everything red with numbers and things, while he had a sign that constantly flashed yellow, "Spop in danger, spop in danger." In the mountain house the girls already took Izuku to a room. The girls threw Izuku onto the bed, leaving him lying down, so they could start climbing up and getting close to the boy, starting to kiss him while they took off his boxers, seeing his member which was too big for them. Momo. It's too much. Kefla. And even more so we will take them. Lemon skipped. Izuku. It seems that it is already over. He said this while he had the girls sleeping on top of him. Chap 30. After Izuku had his passion with the girls, apart from the fact that a war against Izuku was waged at UA, everyone was now entering classes, although the group of girls and Izuku noticed how everyone was somewhat hurt by the bandages they had. Izuku. What happened? Hiroshima. Oreganator, that's what happened. Momo. I think it was good to put them in because I can't imagine what he would have done to us for what we did with Izuku. Bakugo. I hope that after putting my life at risk so that you could save yourself from Caterpillar, we will become friends. Izuku. I'll be thinking about it. Out of nowhere they saw Izuku entering with blueprints in his hands, proving that it was a very difficult thing to do. Lita. What is sensei doing? Izuku. I'm looking into making a time machine to travel back in time and prevent my child from being raped. Izuku. But I didn't go. Izuku. You were raped and that's it. Out of nowhere while Izuku was sitting he felt like they were touching him, so he could see that they were some heroines and girls, being of the girls, Kendo, Ibara, Ryuko, Mei among others, while of the heroines some like Ryukyu, Midnight and others. Izuku. What's happening? Kendo. Now that Oreganator has failed in his mission to protect you, we can drink tea. Out of nowhere, some bandages were put on Izuku's body, causing him to be carried next to Izuku, leaving him sitting, but with the bandages still on, and Izuku had sprays in his hands which had the labels anti-bitches on them. Ryukyu. What are you doing Izuku? Izuku. It's not obvious, to prevent them from further corrupting my son, I know there is still some innocence left inside him. Izuku. Piro. He was silenced because they put tape on his mouth. Izuku. Now go. Mei. But you failed in your mission, now it's ours. Izuku. If they want it, they're going to have to walk over my dead body. The girls and the Oreganator stared at each other, but one decided to speak to start. Hiroshima. Let the bucking shit begin. Saying that, in a second explosions began to occur in the room while screams were present, being more than obvious from those who were caught in the crossfire, until some with pure luck from around the world managed to get out of the room. Present Might. What's happening? Haminari took him by the clothes showing a scared face. Haminari. Hell was what just happened to us right now. Everyone looked at the door making a wise decision and not entering. Time passed, and finally the war in there ended causing some who were caught in the crossfire to get out more than wounded. At this moment in the dining room, although there were 4 groups if you can call it that way, on one side were all the UA people totally away. On the other were the girls who still wanted to take Izuku, and on the other side was Izuku waiting for any movement, while in the middle was Izuku alone, eating with a little difficulty because he had the bandages. Izuku. Why are these things happening only to me? Izuku's mind. Damn bitches. Girl's mind. Don't let him get in our way. Mind of others. Someone will die one of these days. They watched as a circular piece of grass rolled past the dining room. Mind of others. Now it's the Old West. Izuku's mind. How did that grass get in? The rest of the day passed normally, although Izuku was left alone the whole time to avoid a massacre at UA. Chap 31. After Izuku was left in the middle of a war in which the girls were against Oreganator, being a massacre since half the academy was affected by this, now everyone was somewhere preparing for the sports festival, since they had to start with all. Tomi. Hey Izuku, where are Kefla, Kale and Caulifla? Izuku. Well, let's say that they find the sports festival a bit boring, so they are not going to participate. Bakugo. I have a better chance of winning this festival. Momo. But you forget that Izuku is the strongest of us all. But that everyone looked at Izuku, who had that imposing look. Izuku. Just try to do your best and we'll see how well it goes. But that the boy began to walk, ignoring everyone as they began to be called for everyone to see Class 2 in the place to start screaming with excitement. Haminari. There are more than before. Hiroshima. I'm more nervous about this than before. Everyone looked around. Present might. Like last year, this year he will be presenting the heroines Midnight and Cementos. Those professionals greeted the public, but something happened that they did not expect. Midnight. This time the one who will open the festival will be the student Izuku Midoriya. But that everyone started looking for the green-haired man to boo him, but they saw a dark-haired man come forward with his hair pulled back with a lock of hair in front of his face, although the women liked the young man's body. Organitor's thoughts. There are 3,567 people in the stands, 1,785 of them are watching my oldest child. I will definitely need a bigger dog repellent. Izuku walked until he was in front of the microphone to take it. Izuku. I can't say that you trust me or that you're going to like these words or whatever, you can call me a traitor, a villain, scum, but now we'll have to give the best of each one of us to show what we're made of at this festival. By saying that, some got excited so they could prepare for the first part. Midnight. The first part will be a race. Everyone got into a pose to start, but they barely let them go like last year. Tomi froze the path for them to leave, but a tremor began to be felt so that the ice would break due to Izuku, who was surrounded by his evil aura, going at great speed. Man. Now that I remember, that Izuku boy is the same one who was in that tournament. Everyone started talking about Izuku and that tournament until in the race when they noticed some 0-point robots, but these were more resistant than the previous ones. It didn't matter to Izuku, who only increased his speed. Izuku. They are junk before me. Upon arriving, the boy began to destroy all the robots in his path, as if they were nothing before him, so that he could only continue on his path. Present might. This is great, just look at how it happens between the robots, they are nothing before the boy who destroys everything. Izawa. The Tomi Saiyan makes great progress from the beginning, but despite the fact that the Bakugo Saiyan is almost at the same level, the Izuku Saiyan is going through everything as if nothing happened, getting closer to first place. Everyone looked at the boy who was going faster and faster until he reached a part where Izuku was just looking at that cliff. Izuku. Almost nothing changed over time. The boy began to fly so he could pass through the place, doing as if nothing had happened and then walking calmly. Everyone had passed the second part, so they were going to the third and last one at full speed, but when they arrived they avoided some explosions. Bakugo. What was that? They looked at some cannons in the place that were firing, making everyone have to dodge, but at one point they heard how a point exploded repeatedly, so that they saw Izuku, who was walking, enduring the explosions, as if it were nothing since the boy was walking while advancing while being close to them. The goal. Izuku. I am the winner. Midnight. The winner is. Everyone looked at the screens to see the stalls that were going to be present until they saw them. Midnight. Firstly, student Momo Yaoi Rozu, secondly Izuku Midoriya. The boy was confused until he saw the raven girl in front of him. Momo. Hello. Izuku. How? Momo. I used you as a shield. Izuku. That's evil, but I like it. Momo. Remember our little deal. The boy remembered how they had a deal, if she won at least one test, she would have a night of fun all to herself. Pap 32. After they had started the sports festival with the first part being the race in which Momo won first place and Izuku came second, everyone began to pass by to see Midnight in front of everyone with a smile, while a roulette wheel began to spin. Midnight. The second part of the sports festival will be a confrontation. They saw how a robot began to appear in front of everyone who was just looking at it. Midnight. Behind the robot there is a red line, if they pass it, they can continue with the next part of the festival, that or defeat the robot. Everyone began to see this so that a long line formed looking at the robot. Midnight. Well, it seems that they have already taken turns, so the festival begins with its second part. Tesu. I'm going to be the first. The boy threw himself at the robot, seeing that it did not move, causing him to have a smile on his face to get to the front of it. Tesu. Victory is already mine. When he tried to hit the robot, it ended up hitting Tesu's stomach, causing him to lose his breath while he was sent flying as a platform. Midnight. Well, the first one was Tesu who ended up losing. Everyone watched this so that they could begin to go one by one fighting with the robot, and so far few were able to move on to the next part of the festival, since they did not fight with the robot, but rather passed through the red line. Midnight. Well, there is still one spot for the festival, and we are just missing one student. Everyone looked at the Raven Man walking towards the platform with a serious look. Midnight. Izuku Midoriya. The boy showed himself to everyone who was just looking at him. Izuku. This will be easy. He began to walk towards the robot that was standing still until he reached the front of him. Izuku. T-Destroyer. He was preparing a blow, but the robot punched him in the face, although it did not move him from the spot before everyone's eyes. Izuku. That didn't do anything to me. He hit the robot, sending it flying, causing it to end up crawling on the floor until he looked at Izuku who was walking towards him. The robot lunged at Izuku in order to stop him, but as soon as he got in front of him, the boy gave him a slap. Kneeing away followed by another blow to the robot that raised it a little in the air so that it was taken by the legs and crashed to the floor, making a tremor for everyone's eyes. Izuku began to spin until he threw it, but before the machine rejoined, he received a kick from Izuku that sent him to the ground. Present might. It's an amazing start for everyone. Midnight. Young Izuku is certainly taking the lead. The boy went against the robot, giving it a blow followed by a kick, raising it to the sky so that it appeared above him, giving it a sledgehammer blow, causing it to collide with the platform. Izuku. Disappear from my sight, you scum. He made a Kai sphere in his hand to launch it against the robot which could only receive it, but tried to counterattack Izuku's technique without any good results, until it ended up exploding from the attack before the eyes of everyone who was surprised. Midnight. Izuku Midoriya of Class 2 had defeated the robot. Everyone gave a shout of excitement as Izuku walked around ignoring everyone. Tomi. It seems like they already respect you. Izuku. They only do it so that in the future he can save them as if he had forgotten what happened in the past, complete stupidity. Momo. At least you can put a smile on your face. Izuku. No. Momo. Sooner or later you will. The boy looked away while the girls just gave him a smile. Hiroshima. How come I forgive them? Haminari. I don't know but he's a bastard, he has those girls and we don't. Mineta. He's a bastard. Bakugo. Colin, at least he hasn't done anything to us until now, you better wait because when we start fighting I don't think he'll be merciful. But that everyone trembled as they looked at the boy. Hap 33. After everyone stopped the festival part, the fight was already taking place, although a certain Raven man who wanted to be quiet was going to start being bothered by a green-haired girl who approached him to be next to him watching him all the time. Izuku. What the hell do you want, Izumi? Izumi. I would just like to talk to my brother. Izuku. You know I'm not your brother, you're just wasting your time on me. Izumi. I know that deep down you are still my brother whom I love so much. Izuku. The only thing in this world that can bring us together or make us get along for a short time, even if I don't like that part, is Inko. Izumi. I don't care, I want to be with you like in the past. Izuku. The past was one thing, you better focus on the present. At one point they heard the students being called out for the third part of the festival. Izuku. Anyway, we'll see if we at least end up fighting against each other. Izumi. You have to know that I'm not giving up. Izuku. I would advise you to do so. I walked to where the platform was. Midnight. The first fight of the sports festival will be between Izuku. Izuku. How original. Midnight. Why Kirishima? But that everyone started shouting with joy while Kirishima was left alone with Izuku on the platform staring. Kirishima. I hope you're ready, Izubro. Izuku. Just give me some fight and then we'll see what we do. Kirishima. Okay. The red-haired man hardened his skin to launch himself against Izuku in the hope of being able to do some damage to Izuku, but when he got to the front, he began to hit him around the body, although nothing happened to him, he didn't even move from his place. Kirishima. Why can't I do anything to you? Izuku. That's because I'm stronger. He said it while hitting him in the face that sent him flying, making him crawl on the floor until he got up, although parts of his body ended up cracking, surprising him. Kirishima. He has enormous strength. Izuku. Pay more attention to combat. When he said that, the Redeed looked in front of him as Izuku was about to hit him, only to barely dodge him as the blow hit the platform, making a huge cloud of dust, while Izuku was calm enough to stare at him. Kirishima. You are stronger than me. Izuku. Now you realize. Kirishima. But I still won't give up. He launched himself at Izuku hoping to do some damage to him, but the boy just looked at him with boredom before kicking him into the air and dropping him to the floor. Before they declared Izuku had won, they watched as Kirishima got back up. Kirishima. Come on, I haven't given it my all yet. He launched himself at Izuku again hoping to hurt him, but nothing was working until at one point, Izuku stopped one of his blows to look him in the eyes. Izuku. Let me tell you something, Kirishima, you did not give up despite the enormous difference in power, and you continue to rise, worthy of a hero and a man, which is why I myself say that you have my respect. Saying that, some were surprised while others just watched as the boy knocked Kirishima off the platform with one blow. Midnight. Future father of my Izuku from class 2 is the winner. Everyone gave a shout of joy. Midnight's thoughts. Damn it, everyone would find out a little more. Aizawa's thoughts. You think no one found out, but I know very well the intentions you have with my son. Izuku just walked calmly before everyone's gaze, as if he didn't care about anything, although he walked towards Kirishima so that he could see him. Kirishima. Well, you already beat me. He saw how he extended his hand to him, something that surprised him. Izuku. Your quirk is very hard, but your will is even stronger than your quirk becomes. You are a man among men, Kirishima, one of the few who has earned my respect. But that the red-haired man had a smile to accept Izuku's help. Tap 34. After Izuku faced Kirishima, defeating him before the eyes of everyone who gave a shout of happiness for seeing such a fight, although not many could believe that he would earn Izuku's respect, now the boy walked calmly since the first round was over. I did it and now the girl's first round was going to start. Ajiro. Did he really earn your respect? Izuku. Yes, he earned my respect and because he showed it, not for anything else. Shoji. Then we can earn your respect too. Izuku. Yes, I consider you worthy of my respect, yes, but unlike you, Kirishima had been approaching my respect from before, and now he earned it. Tokoyami. What about us? Izuku. You guys can't possibly earn my respect. Ajiro. Why? Izuku. Because they are still very far from winning for that very reason. At those words the boys became depressed while Izuku sat down to watch the girls' first fight, which was going to be Tomi against Mina. Mina. Please don't be too rude. Tomi. If the moment doesn't warrant it then I won't be. The girls looked at each other until the whistle blew. Midnight. You may begin. The pink-haired girl launched herself at Tomi in order to win. When she was close she began to throw acid, but Tomi didn't move from the spot, only to throw a huge amount of ice, partially freezing Mina. Tesu. Vala didn't expect it to end so quickly. Izuku. Please, the fight was more than predictable. Mina doesn't think much when fighting, that's why it ended that way. Aoyama. It makes some sense, but not much at the same time. Izuku. Without a doubt I already see why you lost last year against Mina, you don't think at all. Aoyama. That's not true. Izuku. Then why did he defeat you? But those words Aoyama ended up remaining silent while he had his head down with a depressed aura before the looks of the others who almost felt a little bad. Izuku. Whatever, you better pay more attention to the next fights. They saw that the next fight was going to be between Momo and Kendo, as the two of them were standing on the platform with a serious look. Midnight. Begin. With those simple words Kendo launched himself against Momo, who at this created a shield beginning to block the enormous blows that almost knocked her back. Momo's thoughts. No, the same thing is happening as last festival, I have to do something about it. The girl ended up dodging one of the blows, advancing towards Kendo, who tried to hit her again, but the brunette dodged it again to create a metal bar with which she hit Kendo in the stomach, causing the orange-haired girl to move away, followed by a kick that moved her away even further, only for Momo to launch herself against her in order to hit her with the shield. Monoma. What's wrong? Kendo is supposed to be able to fight her and not the other way around. Izuku. Don't you see it, you arrogant idiot? Monoma looked at him with clear doubt. Izuku. Kendo was doing the same thing that Tokoyami did last year, thinking that way they could keep Momo at bay, but the truth is different, they can't do something like that again, since she learned from her mistakes. They saw how Momo hit Kendo further away again, who launched himself in order to begin to beat him, but the jet was able to dodge to kick him in the face, followed by a turn to give him another blow that took him off the platform. Midnight. The winner is Momo. The Raven woman left the platform happy with how that fight had just concluded. Tap 35. After the victory of the jet over Kendo, the following fights were not going to be of much importance, not even Tomi's fight against Mei, the result being obvious. Now everyone was preparing for the next fight, being Izuku's against Tokoyami. The boy couldn't lie, he felt scared right now. Tokoyami. I think I'm dead. Haminari. Have a little faith in yourself, Dark Shadow will be able to help you win this fight with ease. Tokoyami. Otherwise it is a race that is made for battles. The boy went to the platform just like Izuku, being in a serious manner. Midnight. You may begin. Tokoyami decided not to delay any longer and launched Dark Shadow to end the fight, but Izuku just watched this until the huge shadow got in front of him to try to hit him, but Izuku took it without problems. Izuku. Unfortunately, you won't be able to defeat me. He said it to hit him in the face, followed by another to the stomach, pushing Dark Shadow away, who was only looking at the Raven man who went against him. Izuku. Dark Shadow disappears. He made a sphere of Kai to hit it squarely, making it return to the body of Tokoyami, who was looking at Izuku, who was already in front of him. Izuku. This is it, you get out or I'll kick you out. Tokoyami. I'm not going to be so easy to beat. At one point he received a blow that ended up knocking him off the platform, leaving him as the winner. Izuku. Then I'll take you out. Midnight. Izuku is the winner. When the boy walked to the stands, everyone just stared at him. Momo. I think you went a little overboard. Izuku. I could only hurt Dark Shadow, while Tokoyami is going to have a little pain, nothing more. Tomi. At least not much damage came from this fight. Kefla. Don't even tell me, something quite boring. They saw the girls who were in the stands. Izuku. So you've arrived. Kefla. We were a little bored. Kefla. And we thought, why not spend some time with you? Who knows? Maybe we'll end up having fun. Magically those words were heard in the distance by a teacher. Izawa. I'm tired of this, they're going to know me. Present might. Wait Izawa, where are you going? At one point the class saw Izawa appear in front of them ready with his anti-bitch spray, but saw how the girls took out some hoses. Izawa. Do you really think a little water is going to stop me? Not even a tank bullet could do anything to me. Momo. Pity yes. At that the professor had a victorious smile. Tomi. But we took these sprinklers from another fic that is being prepared by the same author. Izawa. Wait what? Mirko. Anti-mama caterpillar sprayers. Momo. A small gift from the girls of that other universe, but now long. They shot, hitting the mother caterpillar squarely, removing it from the place, although it could be seen as if electricity was coming out of its body, as if it were a robot. Tomi. Okay, this works a lot. Midnight. So we have a way to be able to have our Izuku. Izuku. Mama caterpillar help. Soon the boy had hickey and bite marks on his neck, while Izawa was standing where Present Might was with some plans. Present Might. What are you doing? Izawa. I only found out that apart from those sprinklers from the other fic, apparently there is my son Izuku. Present Might. But that's obvious. Izawa. The good thing is that this offspring is purer than bucking snow, so I'll go to finish off those mother caterpillar sprinklers and save that offspring before they grate me. By chance, do you know about interdimensional travel? Present Might. No. Izawa. Then you're of no use to me. He looked at the plans while Izuku. Izuku. I think mommy caterpillar wants to trade me for a pure Izuku. Present Might. We better get back to the fights, the next round will be the girls' fights. At that everyone looked as Momo and Mina began to pass onto the platform. Present Might. This will be an exciting fight, what do you think Izawa? Izawa. I can only say that I will take part of that purity to give to my son Izuku and make him pure again. Present Might. We better get back to the fight. Everyone looked at the platform and at the girls who were looking at each other. Chapter 36. After Izuku had fought against Tokoyami, winning in the process, the girls' second round began, although now they only had one presenter, because let's say that Izawa was in repair, the first round was going to begin with Momo against Jiru, since the two were happening. To the combat platform. Hiroshima. Who do you think Izubro will win? Izuku. I can only think that it will be a bit of a personal fight. Haminari. Come on Jiru, you can do it. The two of them stared at each other. Jiru. To be honest, I don't want to do this. Momo. Then if you want you can surrender. Jiru. Let's just say I can't do that either and I have only one thing to do. Midnight. Begin. Hearing that, the purple-haired girl launched herself at the raven-haired girl trying to hit her, but Momo was able to dodge her to create her steel bar and hit her in the stomach, pushing the girl away, but she saw how she threw that metal bar near her. Jiru. What are you doing? Momo. I'm not going to fight unfairly. The girl could only grab the bar while staring at it. Momo. I want this to be a little more fair. Jiru. Well then I'll beat you easily. She launched herself at Momo once more, trying to hit her to show that she had some skill with the bars, but she couldn't do anything about it since the brunette kept her at bay. Izuku. It was a mistake. Hiroshima. What? Izuku. Taking that bar was a very big mistake, now Momo is the one who has the advantage and by a lot. They watched the fight as the brunette began to attack Jiru, making her retreat from her attacks without hesitating until at one point she hit her in the stomach, followed by another in the head, leaving her in shock until she turned and kicked her, sending her flying off the platform. Midnight. The winner is Momo Yaoi Rozu. The brunette began to leave happily so that the fights would pass until Tomi's fight against Izumi arrived. Shoji. Another fight more than expected. Izuku. Let's just hope it doesn't end up being anything bad. Izumi. I'm going to beat you and that way I'll be able to show my brother that he can come back to our family. Tomi. Well, I'm afraid I'm not going to let myself win. Izumi launched herself against Tomi, trying to hurt her by throwing a fireball, but she saw color creating a wall of ice, and she was able to avoid it completely to launch more ice against Izumi, who could only try to dodge it by jumping to the side. Tomi. You better give up, you can't go against me. Izumi. We'll see about that. She launched herself against Tomi again, but I saw her color. She threw more ice covering all the sides and the front, making it clear that she was not going to be able to escape this attack, but the green-haired girl hit the ice, breaking it. Surprising her, I saw her color dot. Izuku. So she has one for all. Hiroshima. Did you say something? Izuku. Not only did I remember that I have to buy more food. She began to watch the fight as the green-haired girl now had her arm injured, while Tomi just stared at her. Tomi. The same thing that happened to my Izuku when he used his quirk last year, nothing interesting. He threw more ice against Izumi, who had no choice but to use one for all, starting to destroy all the ice without stopping, but at one point he noticed a huge amount of fire that was going against him, so he barely avoided it, although his leg was now trapped in ice. Tomi. You can't escape now. He said this to throw more ice against Izumi, who only used one for all to free herself, but seeing that she was not going to be able to avoid that attack, she had no choice but to try to counteract it using one for all, creating a smoke explosion, which when Izumi left she was lying on the floor unconscious. Tomi. This is over. Present might. This fight was great, and it seems that my partner recovered. What are you doing, Izawa? Izawa. Let me create a machine to travel between dimensions and go for a little purity for my offspring. He said it while he was with that machine and some plans. Pap 37. After the girls' fight, there was little time left to see the finals since the last of the fights were taking place, the finals on the men's side as well as the girls, who were eagerly awaiting to see the end of everything. Everyone saw how instead of being one platform, there were now two. Present Mick. How exciting, I can't wait to see this ending. At one point I notice Izawa coming out of an interdimensional portal with a white sphere. What is that? Izawa. This is because I already did business with the other Izawa, and he gave me this sphere that is 1% of the purity of the other Izuku, more than enough to recover my offspring. Present Mick. Okay, I'm going to do as if I didn't listen to that. Midnight. I hope everyone is ready because now we are going to see two fights at the same time. On the boys' side, we have the final of Katsuki Bakugo, the previous winner of the sports festival, and Izuku, the one who seems to have a chance of winning. The two of them began to make themselves present at the place with a smile. Present Mick. We'll see a big battle today, what do you think, Izawa? I look at Mother Caterpillar, who was looking at that white sphere. Izawa. I don't care, my offspring will be pure again. Present Mick. You do know that this will make them want to grape him more, right? Izawa. You better shut up, he's my precious. He said it, caressing the sphere as if it were his own. Midnight. On the other side we have the girls Tomi, who almost won the festival last year, and Momo Yaoi Rozu, who despite not having much power, proves to have great intellect. The Jet Black and the Vi Color were making themselves present in the place. Bakugo. Get ready because I'm going to give everything in this fight. Izuku. I hope so, you said you were number one, so prove it. But that the two of them had a smile. Tomi. I hope you don't mind that I'm so harsh at the beginning. Momo. Just try to do your best. Midnight. Begin. But that Bakugo went against Izuku, and once he was in front of him, he began to launch a huge amount of explosions without any mercy towards Izuku, who endured them as if it were nothing, while on Momo's combat side, I saw her color directly launch a large amount of ice, making the jet had no choice but to receive it fully. Everyone saw how the stadium was filled with ice, and a large amount of smoke was present. Present Mick. What an exciting meeting, as if it were nothing, they already started in a pretty tough way. Izawa. Don't rush. Present Mick, look better. Everyone watched as a fist came out of the smoke and hit Bakugo squarely in the face, sending him flying from the force of the blow. Izuku. Come on Bakugo, you can give me something better than that, come and show me what you're capable of. Bakugo. Damn you, I'm going to show you my power. On the ice side, everyone thought it was over, but they saw a light all over the ice, which would explode, revealing Momo in a battle suit that had cannons, thrusters, and other things. Tomi. Looks like you did something unexpected. Momo. I've been doing this for a while, I hope you don't mind. Tomi. At least you're going to give me some fight. The two of them threw themselves against each other, while in the other fight everyone watched as Bakugo tried to hurt them with his explosions, while Izuku advanced between them trying to grab the ash-haired man who was doing his best to get away, but was not getting much. Bakugo. How much stamina do you have? Izuku. When you've fought an assassin who controls time, you know how to resist a certain amount of things. Bakugo. Then let's see how much longer you can hold out. Everyone saw how he made his famous whirlpool with which he went towards Izuku, and once a huge explosion arrived, forcing everyone to cover themselves, but when the smoke disappeared, they began to hear something. Izuku. That was a good attack, but they saw how his hair was now blonde. Let's see what you do against the Super Saiyan. He said it to hit him in the face followed by another in the stomach, making him spit saliva, but things didn't end as he grabbed him by the leg to start hitting him against the floor repeatedly until he threw him, causing him to leave the room. Platform. Izuku. I think I overdid it a little. Bakugo. Damn idiot, now we won't be able to see who was going to win since you took me out. Izuku. It doesn't matter anyway, we could have done this another time, and I beat you. Bakugo. When was that? Izuku. When I started fighting with the whole class. Bakugo. Sure. But that he ended his fight so they could see the girls. Tap 38. After the battle between Izuku and Bakugo, everyone was watching how the fight between Momo and Tomi was going to be fought, who only looked at each other, one was serious on the Jet side and the other in a neutral way on the side. I saw it in color. Tomi. I created a suit for you so we can be equals. Momo. It was hard for me to do it, but in the end I was able to do it, with a little training you can do it. Bakugo. This is going to be interesting. Izuku. You're such a mess. I look at his dark-haired friend who was serious. Bakugo. What's wrong? Izuku. It's nothing, just that a while ago I was starting to have a bad feeling, that's all. Bakugo. As long as that bad feeling doesn't do anything bad. Present Mick. Incredible, the last ones to give their all in this fighting tournament are going to end. Momo lunged at Tomi trying to kick him, but I saw color she was able to dodge it in time to try to freeze her leg, but she was able to dodge it in time. Tomi. That suit doesn't seem to freeze. Momo. I did it so that your ice and fire have no results. Tomi. Then let's see how long it lasts. He said it to throw more ice against the Jet girl who began to dodge the black girl with elegance, beginning to approach her to try to hit her, which Tomi managed to block to do the same, but was blocked by the Jet girl who had a smile. Momo. I hope you don't mind if I don't have to hold back. He said this to make the shoulders and boots start to throw some fire to start attacking with greater power towards the Vickler who made more ice, avoiding the powerful attacks that hit the ice which was beginning to break. At one point he was able to throw some ice towards the Raven, who barely managed to dodge it, so that at one point Tomi using his ice went against him, only for him to end up throwing fire against Momo, who barely managed to dodge it. Tomi. Just a little more and I'll be able to win. Momo. That will be in your dreams. She said it to go against Tomi trying to hit him, but I saw color manage to avoid her, so that in a moment she touched that suit that the Jet girl had, freezing parts of it so that she would move away. Tomi. Now I'm going to finish this. He said it to launch himself against him, trying to give him a blow that could be dodged by Momo, but more ice came out of the floor, causing part of Momo's suit to freeze, causing him to end up retreating further. Momo. This is becoming less and less bearable, I have to do something about it. The girl pointed one of her arms to start launching small missiles at Tomi, who faced this made a wall of ice avoiding the attack, but as soon as she hit her ice, she was made to retreat by the explosion, apart from the ice that ended up breaking making her retreat, so she could see Momo who tried to hit her, but managed to grab her by the arm. Tomi. I'm sorry but you won't be able to win. At one point she hit the brunette and that suit, due to all the ice she had to endure, ended up breaking, causing her to end up being sent to the ground a few meters away from Tomi, who had a neutral look. Momo. I'm sorry for doing this too. He showed that he had a button in his hands to press it and at one point Tomi's position ended up exploding, creating a cloud of smoke. Bakugo. What happened? Izuku. If his suit is destroyed, it will explode, which is something I had in mind from the beginning. They saw how the smoke began to come out, I saw her somewhat hurt, walking towards the Jet. Hiroshima. Impressive, they can still continue. The girls were about to throw themselves at each other, if not because between the two platforms it ended up exploding, making them stop. Midnight. What step? Bakugo. Who the buck just butted in now? Izuku. Areba. Everyone looked up as a being in the sky was beginning to descend. Man. Everyone kneel and show your respects to the great mecha cooler. But that everyone looked at him although Izuku became serious when he knew who it was. Tap 39. At the sports festival, everyone was running around in chaos, trying to avoid as much as possible the cold demon-turned-android that appeared in the sky before the eyes of all classes. Bakugo. Now we're in trouble with a piece of junk. Izuku. You take care of taking out all the people, I'll take care of Cooler. Bakugo. Okay, I'll go tell the rest this. But that he began to move away while Izuku began to fly to get to the same height as that being of great power who had an evil smile on his face. Cooler. Since there is a new evil Saiyan, it will be a pleasure to destroy you. Izuku. That's if I don't take care of finishing you off first. Cooler. Come on, you're not going to be able to handle me, that ended badly for the other evil Saiyan. Izuku. Well, we'll see about that because you won't be able to defeat me. He said it while he launched himself against Cooler, who blocked a kick from Izuku, followed by dodging 2 of his blows to put his hand in front of his face. Cooler. Do me a favor and disappear. He said it while doing a Kai attack that sent Izuku flying, causing him to crash into some buildings. Momo. This is bad, we must help him. Bakugo. No, this seems like it's on another level, although it's hard for me to accept it, we should leave this fight to Izuku. Tomi. The bad thing is that what Bakugo says is true, we should stay away. He said this as they began to go after the people, where Cooler was, he was flying over all the rubble, looking for where Izuku might be without having much success at that. Cooler. Come on you filthy monkey, let me see where you're hiding. He said this with a smile as he walked past the place until he suddenly emerged from the rubble in phase 3. Izuku. You want me, you have me. He said it as he went on to give him a blow that sent him launching against him, followed by a kick that lifted him into the air to continue with a sledgehammer blow that sent him towards the forest. Cooler. You finally decided to transform yourself, you disgusting monkey. At one point he ended up blocking a kick from Izuku, but before he could avoid another attack from the same guy he noticed how he threw a Kai sphere at his face, causing him to release it, something that he took advantage of to give him a spinning kick in the face. Izuku. I will finish you although I don't have enough power yet. He said it so that from one moment to the next, it would move to phase 4. Cooler. With more transformations than the Saiyans, they are really annoying. Before he could make a move his head was grabbed to receive a knee, followed by a hook that sent him flying. Before he continued with those attacks trying to hit him, he was grabbed by Cooler's hand who had a smile. Cooler. Enough, you hit me too many times, but now it's my turn to transform. He said this so that from a bright light he went to the golden cooler with which he hit Izuku in the face, followed by another to the stomach, knocking all the air out of him, followed by grabbing him by the head to knee him, and if that were not enough, he grabbed him by the leg to start whipping him against the floor, until at one point he hit him with a Kai sphere that left him badly injured on the floor. Izuku. Damn it. Cooler. Now I will kill you. He said it while preparing an attack, but before he launched it, some ribbons grabbed his body to lift him into the air and hit him against the floor. Cooler. Now who's involved? Izuku. You really are a mother caterpillar. But that he showed Aizawa who was not happy at all. Cooler. How did a mere human manage to lift me up like that? Aizawa. With the power of love for my children. He said it while showing a more than built body in front of that Cooler mecha. Extra. But look at those pecs, how massive. By Joker. And all that is for me alone. Cooler. Damn, don't think I'll let you go as if nothing happened, I'll kill you. He said this as he flew up to create a huge Kai sphere in front of everyone's eyes. Izuku. If I don't do something now, he'll kill us all. Aizawa. With the power of love for my child, I will defeat you. Cooler. Damn you, I'll send you straight to hell. Before he launched that attack, a part of his head began to fail, preventing him from launching it, forcing that sphere of Kai to disappear and leave through a portal. Izuku. Don't huff, coward. He said it trying to get up, but he almost fell to his knees if it weren't for Aizawa getting to catch him in time. Aizawa. You better rest, it seems like I really hurt you, I have to take you to the hospital. He said it as he went to leave that destroyed place with Izuku. Hap 40. In the hospital there was an unconscious Izuku after his battle against a cold demon, where it went quite badly on his part, since now he only had no choice but to recover from his injuries. Aizawa. My little son, you are very bad, I would like to destroy that villain with my own hands, like the good caterpillar mom that I am, so that I can take revenge. Inko. I heard that my baby is unconscious, I want to know about him. Aizawa. You're here at a good time Inko, she's just resting. Nezu. I think we should have certain answers. Vegeta. And we can give them those same answers. Hearing that they saw the group of Saiyans beginning to approach. Nezu. Then I guess you know about the villain who attacked young Izuku if we're not wrong. Goku. Yes, his name was Cooler, he is someone we defeated a long time ago, brother of Frieza, the tyrant who murdered almost our entire race. All Might. And they came to help us if we weren't wrong. Vegeta. Don't talk nonsense, they already have a Saiyan, we just wanted to come so we could settle some things with him. Saying that they saw how the young man began to wake up only for them to enter the room where Izuku only looked at them for such a thing. Izuku. What happened? I don't remember anything except a nice beating that Cooler gave me. Goku. Well, you were saved, but we must inform you of something important. Izuku. Now what is it? Vegeta. They are thinking of holding a tournament of power like the one from a long time ago, only this time the universes are not going to be destroyed. Goku. Although luckily we can count on the help of the most powerful warriors. Izuku. With all this happening, I guess it's something I had to be waiting for. Goku. We would like to count on your support so you can participate, we really want that. Izuku. Well, I guess I can participate a little, I just have to train more to be able to achieve that, but I have a problem, the League of Villains, I have to take care of them first. Vegeta. Then just do what you have to do, once we're done with all this we can continue. He said it as he began to leave alongside the low-class Saiyan, while the rest of the class began to enter. Inko. So my baby wants to participate in a tournament, I think this is good for you. Izuku. Yes, I suppose so, but I can't let the League of Villains get away from me in any way. Nezu. Don't worry about them, we can keep them busy as long as necessary. With that, the young man only had a smile knowing that he was really going to have the opportunity to count on the UA this time. Sniper. It's best that you rest now, we have no other option, but that, although we would like someone to take care of you in that regard. But such simple words, so simple that anyone can say without problems without knowing it, he has just caused an internal war in the hospital where a large part of it was going to be destroyed. Midnight. I can take care of him with pleasure, I have no problems. Ibara. Although it can't be bad that I share a little of my religion with him. Boruko. I'm staying, he needs someone strong to protect him. More girls began to join in, but from one moment to the next, they were taken away from the child by a hose and a huge amount of water, while Izawa had on the clothes of a firefighter. Izawa. If I'm wrong, my fire detector went off, I just wanted to put out the fire, so that no one gets burned. He said it with a troll face while the girls just stood up. Satsuna. What the hell? We forgot about that thing. Mandalay. I think we should take someone down before we continue with our plans. Hendo. This is the first time I agree with that. In a moment they were bathed again by the hose of Mama Caterpillar, who still had that expression on her face with a smile. Izawa. I was wrong, the fire hasn't gone out yet, I need more water. He said it while spraying the girls for such a thing without having any mercy, and Izuku was only left in the crossfire and feeling betrayed when he saw how everyone left without him. Izuku. I've been betrayed again. Girls. For Izuku-kun. Organitor. For my offspring and the freedom of its purity. In this way, half the hospital was destroyed, and at night Izuku only went to a house that he managed to rent for a certain time to avoid problems. Izuku. Vala never thought I would see all that chaos again, although I don't know why I feel a strange presence nearby. He said it without knowing that they were watching him. Hap 41. In the young Saiyan's house he was about to go to sleep until at one moment he was taken by the darkness to be thrown into bed, while there were certain women-like girls on top of him. Izuku. Now what happens? Kefla. Nothing, we just want to have a little fun. Ibara. I guess enjoying yourself sometimes is definitely not a sin. Satsuna. I can't wait to start. Izuku. Yes, I believe that to start. He said this while a hand under his bed was touching a button trying to make something come to his aid. Momo. By the way, if you try to have a call with Mama Caterpillar, we had to break some things in your house. Lemon skipped. Hap 42. The young man got out of bed where he could only begin to lie down, leaving his girl sleeping peacefully as he went to leave the room where he only stayed looking at the sky for a few moments. Izuku. I know you're watching, I think you have something to tell me. Goku. I guess so, the tournament is approaching and we must prepare. Izuku. I think there is no other option but those options, so I would like to know if you have anything better to tell me apart from all that. Goku. The truth is not much, just that there are certain things that you should avoid once inside the tournament. To begin with, you should avoid some fighters like Gyen or Hit if you want to stay within the platform. Izuku. I know about Hit and I could feel his blows, but Gyen never heard of him. Goku. He is the strongest warrior in Universe 11, he really causes problems even if it doesn't seem like it. Izuku. I'm going to do my best to keep myself under control as much as possible by not fighting that guy or Hit even though I had a new power. Goku. You must keep in mind that you are going to encounter warriors of great power, such as Kefla or others like the troops of Universe 11, it is really an important issue that you must take into account. Izuku. Okay, the good thing is that at least we're not going to be eliminated this time, but try to keep things under control as much as possible. Goku. It's true, we don't have any other options, but you look a little worried. Izuku. Yes, it's an important issue since I can't understand certain things like the parts about how I have to leave my planet, the villains can attack in the worst case scenario, and I can't allow that, even if Cooler comes back. I must be prepared for that moment. Whis. You don't have to worry about that. Izuku. Why? Whis. Well, let's say that in a certain way Mr. Bills is taking care of the cooler issue, he didn't like him and he insulted him. Well, the issue of the villains, we will send some of the Z warriors to this planet, at least that way it will be safe. Izuku. Thank you very much Mr. Whis for doing this for me, I really appreciate it. Whis. Before I go, I must make some things clear, because it seems that the director of your academy, like professional heroes, prefers to make everyone know about the existence of Saiyans, as other things. Izuku. What's that? Whis. Well, what I mean is that he wants to record all the combat that happens in the tournament, but on your planet for everyone. Even that, I look at him having doubts about that because he was speaking so calmly as if it were nothing to him. Izuku. But is that safe? I mean, I don't think it's really a good idea to do something like telling the entire world that there are more universes like other planets where there is life even among others. Whis. You don't need to worry about those details, I'll take care of that right now, like announcing a certain change that happened just now. Goku. Like a certain change. Whis. Yes, now it turns out that only the 20 strongest warriors they have will be able to participate, but not from a single universe, but from all the participating universes. Saying that, the two Saiyans were surprised by such a detail from the man who only had a smile, as if it were nothing to him. Izuku. That means that only the strongest warriors of the 8 universes are capable of participating in a tournament of these scales, but if the strongest warriors of those universes are going to participate being so few, I don't understand what we will face, since the truth is that they are quite serious matters, because they must be enemies or an enemy of devastating power. Whis. Well, for the moment, that is a secret that not even the gods have any idea about, which is why they must keep in mind that they can find anything within that same tournament. He said it with a smile, while the Saiyans were just thinking about what the fights were going to be like, although they were beginning to smile. Goku. Either option is going to be exciting. I would really like to have the opportunity to fight like the rest. Izuku. It's true, we are Saiyans, we don't think we'll back down from anyone or anything in this world or any other universe. Whis. In that case it's good to know because I'll be preparing everything for your arrival like the rest. He said it with a smile as he began to leave before the eyes of the Saiyans, where they remained in the same way until feminine hands came out of the darkness, taking the young man to carry him inside. Goku. Too bad they left him dry before he can participate in the tournament. Were the older Saiyan's words as the young man only began to receive a kill from Snoo Snoo. Hap 43. In a part of the universe, being a place where nothingness itself was found when it was destroyed by Xeno-sama, there were some people arriving there, being a combat platform, being the strongest warriors on each side. Goku. We're here, we were finally able to do it. Vegeta. I've been waiting a long time for this kind of thing to be honest. Izuku. And what is this place? Goku. It is one of the universes erased by Xeno-sama, that means in a few words that this place is perfect where little Zen can see and get excited without destroying anything in return. Izuku. I see, I really never thought I would see something like this. Vegeta. And it looks like the rest are approaching. Hit. I imagined that you were going to bring these 3 Saiyans, but I don't understand why you bring a boy among you. Broly. You don't need to have that kind of attitude with him. Izuku. Hey, even if you take me for a boy, I'm much stronger than you think, you piece of shit. Hit. Look for him to kill him. Gyen. You better calm down, we don't even know who our enemies are, so we should be waiting until they leave us all completely. Agnalasa. So they gathered the strongest just to have a fight against other strong people, without knowing who they might become if I'm not mistaken. Vegeta. Vala now knows how to speak this thing, I think that's good. Gyen. Although we cannot fly like the previous tournament, this means that our combat cannot be as mobile. Goku. This is going to be an even bigger disadvantage than I thought. Freezer. Please, as long as you have Golden Freezer on your side, no one will be able to defeat us, that's for sure. Gyen. Yeah, but I think you're the guy who was giving him hell for a while during the whole tournament. Freezer. What did you say? Goku. Yeah, there's no need for us to get into this kind of stuff, besides we're only 8 warriors, which seems a bit strange to me to be honest. The Shinken. It seems that you are really talking amongst yourselves and quite attentive to any changes in the rules that may occur around here. Vegeta. It's about time, we'll finally know what's really happening. The Shinken. Yes, as you all know, you will be able to fight in this tournament because with the 8 strongest warriors that were found and right now we are going to let you see who your opponents are. Saying that they saw how another platform began to descend from the sky or what is supposed to be the sky, causing them to begin to have doubts only for them to see that it was the destructive gods, surprising all of them by such an event. Goku. Then we will fight against our destructive gods, this fight is really going to be great without a doubt. Vegeta. More than great, it's not going to be easy because now I understand why it's about warriors who touch the power of the gods, because the gods are the ones who want to know about these types of things, if we are worthy of living. Whis. By the way, I hope you show yourselves well because we will be showing this to different parts of your universes, that way everyone will know. Broly? How? And that they saw some spheres in the sky where all the people looked at this being that on Izuku's planet, they only looked at who they were going to face, although before they had to be told about the matter of the gods and the universes. Momo. Then they will face the gods themselves to see if they can live. Boruko. This is bad, very bad. On the platform they looked at the spheres to turn their gaze to Shinken, who had a smile on his face, as if it were nothing. Shinken. Now that they know the rules without weapons, only power can command where the mortal fighters are Jiren, Goku, Broly, Vegeta, Izuku, Agnalasa, Hida and Frieza. He said it while pointing to them, making people hope as much as possible that they could win the tournament of power, even if it seemed impossible. Shinken. Well, of the gods, Gyen from Universe 12, Toppo from Universe 11, Likier from Universe 8, Bills from Universe 7, Iwin from Universe 1, Arak from Universe 5, Mule from Universe 3 and Jaraz from Universe 2, they are the gods who will test all of you. Goku. So Toppo switched places with his former god of destruction. Jiren. Yes, since then I've tried to make the universe a better place. Shinken. Now you know how the matter works, whoever has the most victories will be able to start the battle, only that the mortals will choose who they will be able to fight against and in that way prepare the battles. Saying that, each one began to separate among their own, choosing each of the destroying gods, standing in front of them with a smile. Pap 44. Everyone stared at each other among the mortals and the strongest gods who were in the area, while the supreme priest only had a smile for this reason, waiting for the first participants. Goku. Who will we send? I really feel excited about wanting to go, but I have no idea who my opponent is going to be. Jiren. We can't be too confident, if we take a step forward it's because we can beat them. At one point they began to see how Champa was the first participant, leaving everyone in doubt until they saw how it was Hit who began to advance until he was in front of him. Champa. So you're going to be the first one I face, interesting. Hit. I'm just trying to fix certain things from before because of how you tried to treat me like a simple pawn. Champa. I don't know why it bothers you so much if it's the truth. Shinken. You can start whenever you want. Saying those simple words, they saw Hit immediately launch an attack against Champa, going head on in order to defeat him as soon as possible. Champa. Without using your time jump. Well, it's obvious that you won't use it when you're in front of someone who surpasses that thing, even if you will use it when you're near me. He said this while looking at Hit with a smile as he approached little by little, where when he was already in front, he tried to kick to the side, thinking that the time-traveling man was going to be in that place. But instead he ended up receiving a blow to the face that sent him flying, while everyone watched as Hit didn't use his time jump, but instead began to throw some Kai spheres which Champa managed to dodge in time. Hit. Don't get too confident like that or I'll make you lose sooner than expected. But that he launched himself again against Champa who only looked at him angrily to do the same and was about to hit each other, but in one moment Hit using his time jump only ended up jumping on top of Champa's head, making him he fell to the floor where he simply turned to throw some Kai spheres. Izuku. Wow, he's really improved a lot since the last time I saw him. Goku. Yes, and you still haven't seen what he's capable of doing. Jiren. Maybe, but now comes the worst part. But that they noticed how Champa was on top of Hit, who, upon noticing this, tried to use his time jump, but as soon as he tried to do so, he received a blow to his face that sent him directly crashing into the ground, followed by that deity falling with all his strength on top of the assassin, causing him to feel enormous pain. Champa. Don't get too confident because you only managed to hit me a little, this is nothing. Hit looked at him for a few moments to try to use his time jump again, but when he did, Champa without looking, threw a Kai sphere to the side where Hit ended up appearing receiving that part full on causing him to fly out of the place, followed by continuing to do the same thing for more times, leaving him quite injured where he only looked at the deity of Universe 6 while a little blood came out of his mouth which he tried to clean a little. Izuku. He's in trouble. Vegeta. Yes it is, the two are on totally different levels. Champa. This is quite obvious, not a single mortal is capable of defeating the gods. That deity looked at him seriously so that he would take just one step and in the blink of an eye the entire area where Champa was ended up completely exploding, making a huge cloud of smoke in front of everyone who was surprised while Hit fell to his knees. To the ground. Hit. You forgot, idiot, that while I fight I improve a lot more, I concentrated all my power in the time that I made as my speed, and I left you aiming many attacks around you, it was impossible for you to escape from my attack, therefore this is a defeat without a doubt. All the gods looked at this surprised because they had to accept it, not even the deities are capable of withstanding such an attack, until they saw how a sphere of Kai ended up leaving the place to hit, causing him to end up leaving the platform while Champa was leaving. Little by little with certain fairly large wounds on his body. Champa. And you forgot who you're dealing with, you miserable idiot. The Shinken. The gods win the first round. But that Champa just fell to the ground without being able to do anything about it, remaining unconscious in the middle of the area where he was. Hap 45. The group, faced with their defeat, only thought about the matter as what they were going to have to do from now on, because it was not going to be easy to be able to face another destroying god, as if it were nothing, since they were left thinking a little. Goku. Who can be our next fighter? We can't just send anyone away like that, it's something we can't take as a risk. Izuku. I think I can go in this time and take care of the enemy. Before he was able to say anything else, another person saw how little by little Gyen himself began to walk with his firm step as always. Vegeta. Don't tell me you're planning on fighting now. Gyen. To protect my universe I will always fight, no matter what danger I have to face. Izuku. Then the great warrior of Universe 11 is going to fight. He said this as he watched Gyen walk onto the battlefield while the god side remained in thought. Ills. So Gyen, he's not a person to be taken lightly. Tequila. I think the best thing is to think of a way to attack his immense strength. Oppo. No, each universe takes care of its warrior, Gyen is my personal matter. He said this as the new Hikation of Universe 11 passed in front of everyone, landing on the battlefield while keeping a fixed gaze on the warrior who just stood firm. Gyen. Are you sure to face me? You always kept your distance in these types of cases with me. Oppo. Yes, I'm sure, as Hikation of Universe 11 it is my priority to defeat you. Gyen. It's a shame that something else awaits you. The Shinken. Begin. When he said that, Toppo launched himself against Gyen in order to be able to connect a blow towards him, where the little Martian of the Cumbia began to dodge it quite easily, as if it were nothing in front of him, despite the fact that Toppo increased his speed in a way too great, so that at one moment Gyen went on to connect a blow directly to Toppo's stomach, causing him to move away. Followed by a kick that sent him sweeping the floor with his face. Izuku. This is incredible, they told me that Gyen was strong, but unlike Hit he is completely humiliating his Hikation. Goku. Now you see it better, but Gyen's true strength has not yet been fully displayed. He said it with a smile as Gyen walked towards Toppo who, faced with such a thing, only thought about being able to continue attacking as much as possible, which was almost impossible against the same warrior from Universe 11, who managed to keep him at bay with punches and kicks to his body, until Toppo managed to get away to create a sphere in his hand. Toppo. I didn't want to use this, but I have no other choice, Hakai. The Hikation of Universe 11 launched his attack sphere against Gyen, thinking that he would be able to do something to him with that. While Gyen's side began to launch a Kai attack keeping the Hakai sphere at the limit, thinking that he could confront him with that until at one moment or another, Toppo ended up appearing behind him to connect another Hakai sphere to his body, creating an explosion of smoke where only Toppo managed to get out. Champa. That's it Toppo, teach him the power of a destructive god. Beerus. It's not time to celebrate. Champa. But what are you saying? You saw how he managed to connect that perfect attack. Bills. Yes he did, but we still find ourselves in a very important detail, that is not Gyen's true power, he is a warrior to fear. He said it while watching how the same warrior from Universe 11 began to emerge little by little without a single scratch on his body. Oppo. I see that I couldn't do anything to you Gyen no matter how hard I tried, your power surpassed that of a destroyer god. Gyen. I don't understand what the big deal is, we're facing each other anyway. Oppo. At least if you're not going to respect me as a destroyer god, do it as a warrior, use some of your power in this fight, otherwise I swear I will destroy you. He said it while he launched himself against Gyen, who then stood still waiting for the attack where he was barely close to it. His eyes shone so that different points of attack hit Toppo, sending him flying while little by little a reddish aura of his body, which was getting bigger and bigger. Izuku. What enormous power, I never imagined I had so much. Goku. Now you see, Gyen is going to get serious. Vegeta. Although there's no denying that he's become even stronger since our last encounter. The Saiyans nodded at Izuku's gaze as Toppo's side slowly got up without being able to do anything, while Gyen passed by his side, connecting a wide variety of blows to different points of his body, causing him to feel great damage, so that in the end, he only saw Toppo, who was barely able to move, while he watched as Gyen pointed a Kai sphere at him, as if it were nothing. Gyen. This is the end. Toppo. Without a doubt this was not a fight, from the beginning I ended up losing to you, although I am happy to know that at least I had the opportunity to face you. Gyen. and at the same time naive for believing that you were capable of defeating me. But that he launched his attack on Toppo, causing him to leave the combat arena before everyone's eyes. The Shinken. The warrior Jiren from Universe 11 is the winner. He said it while everyone was surprised at such a demonstration of power except the mortals, since in truth that warrior surpassed the level of the gods completely, something that had not been seen before. Needless to say, he later got a Cumbian. Tap 46. Once the combat was over they saw that they were evenly matched where only one was going to be able to get the shape they were in, as they were looking at each other, without knowing the next warrior they were going to be able to command. Izuku. Now who's next? Vegeta. I think it's best that you continue on your part. Izuku. Me. Why? Goku. I guess Vegeta wants to see what you can do, at the same time we have confidence that you can fight. The young man, faced with such a thing, only looked at the gods, having certain nerves remembering his past self before being a Saiyan, until his instincts made him remember everything that happened just to be able to advance to the arena, changing those nerves to a great emotion. Champa. They sent that Saiyan into combat, I think we will have some problems. Bills. Don't think there will be too many, despite everything he is still a normal Saiyan like the rest. Gyen. If you'll allow me, I'd rather take care of this myself. Everyone watched as the man walked in front of everyone with a smile, as he stared at the young man who was just trying to remain calm. The Shinken. You may begin the fight. Instead of starting as normal, they just stood still. Gyen. I'll wait for you brat, I hope you'll be able to give me at least a little bit of a front. Izuku. Don't think I'll have mercy on you once I start. He immediately went on to use the blue phase in order to launch himself against him in order to connect a blow to Gyen's face, who managed to dodge it with ease to deliver a knee to the evil Saiyan's stomach that lifted him into the air before ending up on top of him to connect a mallet blow that sent him crashing against the ground without being able to do anything against it that again ended up on top of him with a strong stomp. Gyen. Don't tell me this is the power of the evil Saiyan. In the area where he was, it ended up exploding, causing him to once again launch himself against him in order to connect blow after blow against the Hikation, until at one point, Gyen managed to connect 2 blows to the face, followed by a combo that left him lying on the floor. Goku. What's wrong? He can't cope. Vegeta. It seems that they sent one of the strongest against them, we had to send another. Goku. Do you believe that? At one point they noticed how he launched himself back into combat against Gyen, who had a smile. Gyen. You already tried that, I think because of the hits I gave you don't remember it well. When he dodged his blow he tried to do the same as before, but he noticed how underneath Izuku, he had his arm with a Kai sphere that he launched against him, causing him to barely be able to block, while he managed to back away, being that he was only able to keep his distance, while the boy launched himself against him again to connect a blow to his face. Izuku. Don't take me lightly, I am the evil Super Saiyan, no one can against me or my power. He immediately tried to land more blows on Gyen, who managed to take his arm like the other, maintaining a smile, until he saw how he formed a sphere of Kai from his mouth, which he launched against him, hitting him squarely, causing him to retreat from such a situation. Before receiving a kick in his stomach that made him retreat, and he planned to continue with the attacks, until at one point Gyen disappeared seeing that he was above. Gyen. The games are over, let's start with the real fights between the two of us. As soon as he said that, he managed to appear in front of him, connecting a blow to his stomach, causing him to fly away, and before he could leave the combat arena, the same achievement appeared behind him, connecting a knee, only for him to bury his face against the floor, starting to run. Everywhere, forming a line of destruction until he sent him flying where, while the young Saiyan's body was falling, Gyen himself pointed a Kai sphere at him. Gyen. This is over, disappear from my sight. He immediately proceeded to launch the Kai sphere against him, hitting Izuku's body squarely, knocking him out before everyone's eyes. Tap 47. By the time his fight ended, Izuku could only wake up as he looked around, noticing how everyone was expectant for the next battle that was approaching. Izuku. What happened? Goku. You finally wake up, for a moment I thought you weren't going to wake up at all. Izuku. I don't understand, the last thing I remember is receiving a direct attack from that Hikation, and then everything is dark. Goku. Yes, now the best thing is that you recover because from this point on we will have to see the next fight. Izuku. And who is going to fight? The Shinken. From Universe 1, Iwin will fight and from Universe 7, it will be the warrior Vegeta. Everyone watched as Vegeta jumped into the combat arena as the Hikation began to prepare. Bills. Hey shorty, you better get ready because I can tell you that Vegeta is not a person whose power is like the rest. Iwin. He's immortal, just that. The little boy began to jump towards the combat arena while everyone watched as they prepared. Vegeta. They just sent someone else to fall before me. Iwin. I don't think trusting you is the best, in the end it can be your downfall. Vegeta. Maybe, but unlike the rest I'm a completely new person. The man began to gather a large amount of power to create a pillar of violet light around the place, surprising the gods for such a thing. Sidra. What does this mean? That power is the same as that of the gods of destruction. Hells. How did he have that power? Everyone watched as Vegeta began to emerge in his new form while he had a smile. Vegeta. Are you prepared for what is coming, dwarf? Iwan. That's surprising, but are you going to be able to bear it? He said this as he launched himself against the Prince of the Saiyans who, faced with such a thing, only tried to dodge his attacks while managing to keep him at bay in order to land a blow to his stomach, followed by grabbing him by the head and slamming him against the floor, only to throw him again to another part where he jumped in front of him, landing a kick that left him lying on the floor. Beerus. I told him not to get too confident, now we have everything to lose in this fight. Champa. What are you talking about? You know something about the matter then. Beerus. Of course, I personally took charge of training Vegeta to have that shape, although I had no idea about this tournament. Hells. Then that mortal truly possesses a power that is now compared to that of the gods. He said this while watching how the same Saiyan managed to keep poor Iwan at bay, who only threw a few Kai spheres, but Vegeta ended up appearing behind him to connect a hammer blow that sent him directly crashing into the ground while he remained above it. Vegeta. Don't tell me that this is the power that the destructive gods really have. A while ago I saw perfectly how the Hakaishin of Universe 12 had great power, but if you really are his counterpart, then this ended up being a complete waste of time. Iwan. I'm not going to let such an atrocity go by talking to me that way. Right now I'll show you what happens when you make a destroying god angry. When he barely launched himself against the Saiyan, the latter connected a blow to his stomach, causing him to end up without any breath, followed by being grabbed by the head so that he would lift him in the air and look at him with contempt. Vegeta. At the end of the day, using all this power was a waste of time. I have no idea why I had to come to this tournament if at the end of the day their destroyer gods don't seem like a big deal. He said this as he hit him squarely with a Kai sphere, causing him to end up leaving the platform before the eyes of everyone who declared the Prince of the Saiyans the winner. Hap 48. In that place they were preparing for the next fight that was approaching at that moment, being Goku against Bills, the Hakaishin who was feared even by his own people. Bills. Are you excited, Son Goku? I hope this is finally the fight I've been waiting for my whole life. Goku. I don't think you can do that, at the end of the day I'm a warrior who will be in charge of defeating you. Bills. In that case, come once and for all because this time I don't plan on holding back. The Shinken. Begin. As soon as Bill said it, he immediately launched himself at Goku, starting to deliver a flurry of blows, but Goku was barely able to dodge them, especially when he used a blue in its best state, where he ended up receiving a kick in the stomach, followed by a headbutt that sent him flying. Goku. Curse. When he looked in front of him he noticed Beerus's hand which was with his Hakai ready to be used. Bills. I hope you're prepared for this next attack. There happened to be a huge explosion where no one could see anything, and there was only a cloud of dust. Beerus. What's going on there now? Whis. Not bad, it seems that he prepared for that attack. Champa. What are you talking about? Vados. You don't know it because you weren't completely alive for the previous tournament, but Mr. Son Goku possesses a power that goes beyond what you think. At that moment he began to emerge with his perfect state of Ultra Instinct. Quitella. Impossible, it cannot be true that a mortal masters a power that not even we gods know how to control. Beerus. It cannot be impossible, the use of that technique should be completely prohibited. Jiren. And why should it be banned? You guys used Hakai like other abilities that only gods can use, I don't think he can't use it, especially when it seems like Beerus really wants this. They looked at Beerus who was with a huge smile knowing why he was approaching, being that he launched himself at Goku, but before he got completely close, he had to block a kick from him, making him retreat a few meters, trying to maintain his composure. Beerus. Not bad, Son Goku, you're still very skilled. Goku. I'm not planning on playing games, if you're really going to use all your power, the right thing to do is do the same. Bills. Then it's going to be a battle between the power of the gods against that of the angels, I hope you're prepared for such a thing. He then let out all his power, surprising everyone who watched such a thing, making even some of the gods tremble. Vegeta. How impressive, I never imagined Beerus had so much power. In the blink of an eye, Beerus managed to appear in front of Goku, who barely managed to avoid a blow that was going against him, only to begin a fight between the two at high speed, where only a white and a violet trail could be seen which collided with each other. Xeno-sama. This is impressive, yes. A Shinken. It is, it's been a while since I've seen a fight between destruction versus a calm heart. The deities just watched such a spectacle until at one point Bills got on top of Goku so that the violet trail would hit the Saiyan, who immediately launched a Kamehameha, but when he did so he noticed how Bills was intact. Goku? How is this possible? In a second Bills had his hand in front of his face, causing him to open his eyes. Beerus. Remember one thing, nothing can surpass my destruction. He went to grab him by the face and go straight to the floor, where immediately there was a cloud of dust, which when it went away only Goku was left against the floor in front of Bills, who was thinking about ending that fight with the death of the Saiyan, but he managed to get up to get away from the deity. Goku? Damn, I don't have many options now. Bills. What's wrong? Don't tell me you're already planning to give up at this point. Goku? None of that, in fact you don't leave me any options other than to use it. The Saiyan had a smile as he only managed to confuse everyone who didn't notice that Whis had a smile on his face, knowing what was coming. Hap 49. In the tournament everyone saw how Shinken was in front of everyone having a serious look at what was happening. Shinken. Attention everyone, I would like to go to the last round of the Tournament of Power, in this case you should choose your best participants. Everyone looked at their participants thinking about who would be able to fight next in the tournament. Goku. Damn, I guess we have no more options. Vegeta. That's right, we'll have to go again. Goku. In fact, I think I have the right person in mind for us to choose. Izuku. Are you serious? Goku. Yes, I want you to be our last fighter. Saying that, some people stared at him until Izuku was simply completely surprised by such a thing. Izuku. You must be joking for such a thing. Goku. No, I am fully aware of one thing. When I knew Cumber, he personified all the evil of all the Saiyans, like in his story, all the negative energy that they had Cumber was able to get rid of, but he was unable to get it out. Everything under control, so it's your part where you have to do it. Izuku. If you put it that way. He said this as he jumped into combat. Vegeta. Do you want to do the same thing you did with Gohan? Goku. Exactly, I want to do it again. Jiren. What are you talking about? Vegeta. A long time ago we had a very powerful enemy known to be an android that not even Kakarot could face, but this idiot's son, by bringing out his full potential, was able to defeat him. This is something similar. Some understood, although they did not have much faith in the young man, and, thanks to the gods, Gyen managed to return to combat. Gyen. This will be like child's play. Everyone waited until they heard the most anticipated words. Shinken. Begin. With that, both Izuku and Gyen launched themselves again using their maximum powers, starting a clash between the trails of light that they had, being a violet part on Gyen's side, while on Izuku's side it was blue, trying to maintain an even fight against him. Broly. Do you think I can do it? Vegeta. Of course he can and should do it, in the end he is a Saiyan warrior like us. Goku. And when he unleashes his full potential, he will be able to show what he is truly worth. In the middle of the fight the two collided, fists maintaining the force between them until at one point Gyen managed to kick him in the face, causing him to fly towards the ground where he managed to stop. But not in time before receiving a direct hit that sent him flying, only to receive attacks from different points, preventing the young man from being able to defend himself at least a little, until he was left floating in the air and Gyen on top of him with an energy sphere. Gyen. This is over, with this last attack all mortals will die. He then launched the attack, hitting Izuku's body, causing him to begin to disappear, ending up near the floor, while inside his mind, he was completely injured and unable to do anything. Izuku. Back in my mind and I still have this hair. He said this while looking at a green lock of hair on his head. Cumber. It's obvious if you don't know how to have the evil energy in your body. Izuku. I thought I had already assimilated after so long. Cumber. You're an idiot. Just because you've been in a cell, hate people, and use negative energy doesn't mean you're one with it. Izuku. I don't understand. Cumber. Of course you don't understand, son. Goku understands the peace of the universe, as its lack of control to reach that silver state. Vegeta managed to understand the meaning of destruction itself, and Broly the part of being a wild warrior. They understand their potential and assimilated it into their body, but you must understand one thing. Izuku. What the hell is this about now? Cumber. Don't hate, be the hate, don't seek power, turn yourself into pure power, be yourself between your past, present and future. Once you manage to take that into account, I want you to concentrate on directing it towards that fourth class deity. By saying that, the young man remembered every point in his life, slowly understanding the words of the ancient evil Saiyan, causing energy to begin to leave his body. Cumber. It seems you understand now, I will stop appearing in your mind after this. He said it while his body was disappearing, becoming pure energy that went to the young man's body. Out of his mind that energy had exploded, making everyone take the fight for granted, Gyen being the one who turned around as he began to walk. Gyen. Well, that's it. He was walking calmly until he managed to hear something. Bills. Hey idiot, look back and take a better look at your current situation. Hearing that, I began to pay attention to him, seeing how Izuku had a different shape than before, having his hair in a pinker style while at the same time there was fire surrounding his body. Gyen. What does this mean? Vegeta. This is the same appearance Black had when he transformed into Rose. Goku. A little, but the truth is that he has a very different point of view than he had, and we will see it right now. He said it with a smile, knowing what he was approaching at that moment. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.